following is a presentation of the Big Ten Conference.
Welcome back to Big Ten Saturday on Peacock, presented by Liberty Mutual. We are all set for Rutgers playing host to Miami of Ohio, with an eye on that improvement every team wants from week 1 to week 2. We say hello to Zora Stevenson.
After week 1, Paul, colleges all around the country have things that they want to clean up. Defense is going to be a focus for Rutgers. Head coach Greg Schiano told me that the unit was just too geeked up. They won the game last week, but gave up 440 yards of total offense. He also said, we were trying to make plays instead of just doing our job. Execution was missing. He's encouraged, though, telling us these things are fixable. Coach will be watching the eyes of his defense to start this game. If everyone's eyes are in the right place, it means they are locked in on their assignments. As for Miami, Rutgers is the second Big Ten opponent in a row. Coach Chuck Martin said a good start will change this game. Look for Miami to take some risks, create opportunities through special teams, and steal a possession or two.
Zora, thank you. Chuck Martin's first priority, that offense being better than it was last week in the loss at Wisconsin where they got shut out. He'll get the chance to see his group right away. Rutgers won the toss. They deferred, they kick off. Scarlet Knights won against the MAC team here during the week in week 1. They knocked off Ohio by 3 points. Miami lost at Wisconsin 17-0. Underway in Piscataway. And Miami will begin on their own 25-yard line. And the turnover on the roster when it comes to the offense for Miami has been drastic. Eligibility, graduation took all 11 starters off of last year's team, Phil. This is a brand new lineup.
Yeah, hard to be really good in sync the first game of the season if you got all new starters at every single position, and especially when you're talking about the quarterback. So all that showed last week, as I said in the opening, Chuck Martin feels like the coach for Miami of Ohio feels good about the offense going against Rutgers defense.
Daquan Finn, most experienced quarterback in the MAC this year, makes his second start for Miami. Quick completion. The ball was bobbled by Keith Reynolds, and that cost him loss of 1. Well played by the Rutgers defense. So at quarterback, Phil talked about him here at the top of the broadcast. Daquan Finn, the accomplishments are incredible. Active leader in the NCAA in total touchdowns with 93.
He was 9 of 18 last week for 83 yards. Threw an interception, very unlucky on the interception, which happens sometimes. And I think just watching him throw that ball and watching him warm up, he can throw it down the field, no doubt.
Second down, right back to the air, little pump. Open man on the sideline, goes high for it. And he's upended. That's Keith Reynolds. He has receptions on the first 2 plays. That time picks up 7 to make it 3rd and short.
Well, really good job. Daquan Quinn that time looked down the field, made like a little pump, and that opened up the receiver underneath just at least to get a few yards and make this 3rd down situation a lot easier.
Keith Reynolds played in Washington last year. Good to get him started with a couple of grabs. 3rd down and 4 right now. Three consecutive passes. Right through the hands of Deion Colsey, the Notre Dame transfer.
No chance on that play. Good read, one-on-one outside, but the coverage was awesome. The throw was a little high, and that's a good reason why it was incomplete.
So 3rd and manageable turns into another punt, and punting is something they did a lot at Camp Randall last weekend. Pierce Staten punted 8 times for an average of 43 yards. Now Greg Schiano running up the sideline here. Rutgers did block a punt in the win last week right here against Ohio. That punt is away. DT Sheffield just let that one bounce, and it'll stop just inside of the 25-yard line. The Rutgers offense has continuity on its side. They bring back their coordinator, starting quarterback, majority of their offensive line. And Phil, this is from a team that scored more points on this campus than any team has since they joined the Big Ten.
Yeah, you know, I look at this team too. We've talked about it a lot this week and talked to Greg Schiano, and look, there's not really a real weak spot on their offensive side. Like the quarterback, I think they got a really solid to really good offensive line. We love the wide receivers. And they got 3 running backs that they have to. They can play them all. And it'll be hard to see a big difference between the 3.
Antoine Raymond was the chosen running back last week, and he is to the left of Kaliak-Manis. He also right to the air, quickly out of his hands. 1 for 1. Big hit on the 30-yard line. Keep that to a gain of 6 to KJ Duff. Nice play, Caleb Martin. Ethan Kaliak-Manis, the gift of experience for sure. 5th year of college football, 2 at Minnesota, couple here at Rutgers, his 2nd year that he has started. This is his 32nd career start. And that 78% completion percentage in week 1 gave him a lot of hope after he's been in the mid-50s for most of his career. 2nd down. He starts out 2 for 2. DT Sheffield has the first down of the game.
Well, that's what you want to do. This Miami defense, they play everybody kind of near the quarterback of the offensive line to stop the run, and they put these corners in a tough position. So if you're willing to throw the short passes, which Rutgers is, and they've already done 2, if you keep doing it and doing it well, it's going to lead, of course, to a score. And Chuck Martin, the coach of Miami, just said, I hope they just don't keep throwing it outside in the short passes.
He was good driving the ball outside the numbers last week against Ohio. Wants to throw again outside the numbers, right on the money. Pitch and catch to KJ Duff for another first.
Well, Chuck Martin's gone, well, I guess my hope is gone, because 3 passes, all to the outside, to the right. Boy, good technique. Look at the ball. Man, he can spin it.
It feels sometimes a quarterback will be up around 80% like Ethan was last week, and you're like, well, he checked it down. Those were easy throws. He was fitting it in there last week.
Oh, yeah. He had some 20-yard outcuts, drove the football, you know, when he had to. If the defender was close, he can put a little more torque and speed on it.
And this is Raymond, first touch. Actually, Kaliak-Manis kept it. Nice fake. And he picks up 3. Miami defense, most of these starters are new. Senior safeties will lead the way. Silas Walters, Eli Blakey. If they play like they normally do, Phil, you hear their names a lot.
Yeah, you do. And let me go back to the quarterback for Rutgers. What did we hear a lot? You know, I was going to say this, repeat for the coaches. Get down. He's got to get down. Well, don't run him on a quarterback draw if you don't want him to get hit.
This is one of the first things Greg Schiano said to us yesterday with a laugh. Like the quarterback to get down. On the move, finds a tight end. Miami plays that one well. Colin Weber didn't get much to set up 3rd down. And let's see if they distribute the ball in a different way this week, Phil, because last week, all but 2 of the completions went to wide receivers for Rutgers.
Right. Yeah, right now, it's a 3 wide receiver looking offense. And rightly so. The group is strong. It's got a little bit of everything: size, speed, mobility, and most of all, they got good hands.
You think it wasn't a point of emphasis during practice? 1 for 10 on 3rd down last week. And 3rd down and 5 right here. Kaliak-Manis, well protected. Boy, wow. Can't throw it any better. First catch for Ian Strong, who had 7 grabs last week. That one gets 15.
Yeah, right hash mark. 3rd and, you know, not very long. And Kaliak-Manis just throws a perfect throw to the outside, which I was at 2 practices this week. They do this more than any team I've ever seen. These speed outs, 10 to 12 yards. Most quarterbacks, Paul, they hate it.
Yeah.
But not Rutgers and not Kaliak-Manis. It's part of their offense, a big play call that they give, they'll use many times today.
He starts down a perfect 5 out of 5. 1st and 10 from the 30. Raymond, a little cutback, got in 5 yards. Bring up 2nd down 5. Jackson Kuwach, the former Ohio State Buckeye, with the tackle.
Yeah, Raymond, watch these guys carrying the football, all the Rutgers running backs. They had this guy named Kyle Benungai here.
Pretty good.
Over 600 carries, never fumbled the ball 1 time.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it's part of who they are now, the way the guys, all the running backs hold it. High and tight.
As a reason, he's with the Chicago Bears right now. 2nd down, sidelines again. Once again, Strong has 2 catches on this drive. And that one gets him 14.
Well, I love what they're doing. This helps a little bit, so people or a defender can't get out underneath these short throws. They're giving a little play action fake in the backfield, and when you do that, if you hesitate just a little bit as a defender, it's going to be too late.
How about having a 6'6" wide receiver? Catch radius comes to mind.
You can throw a lot of bad passes and still get caught. That's what you like about a 6'6" guy.
Not a lot of resistance provided yet by this Miami defense.
Tight coverage.
Ground game, Raymond. Wrapped up, gets just inside the 10. And with Monunga, you talked about him a little bit, Phil. They led the Big Ten in rushing attempts last year. And now that they're getting it done with 3 backs, we take a look at a good tackle here from the RedHawks. I'm kind of wondering out loud, will the commitment to the run be the same here?
I think as it goes along, and knowing Greg Schiano for basically most of his life, how he likes to see the game played and all that, that they're slowly going to work this running back group in, and the offensive line, you got to run it some to keep the defense honest and keep the offensive line aggressive.
3rd best running attack in the Big Ten last year. Raymond remains the running back. 10th play of this drive. Kaliakmanis in trouble. Down he goes. Kind of took a knee there at the 13-yard line, lost 2.
Yeah, it was going to be a little play fake once again, but that time they were going to run inside, and they loved this play. They worked a lot on this. You see, he looks left, doesn't like it, kind of fumbles a little, or stumbles, I should say, and can't get away from the defense.
Safety blitz, the one we mentioned there, Silas Walters, the former walk-on, led the team in tackles last week. So now it's 3rd and long. Ja'Shawn Benjamin checks in at tailback. Need to get to the 3-yard line to keep this drive going. Kaliakmanis, end zone, wide open, nice catch back in the end zone. Ian Strong.
Ian Strong, and he is strong on the outside, number 9. Oh my, they're playing. There you go. What happened? Why was he open? They were expecting another quick throw to the outside. He goes right up the seam. What a catch. There you go. Paul, good to be tall.
Nice to be 6'3", going up and getting it.
Another one.
No one else in the picture. By himself, Jay Patel on for the extra point. Right down the middle. Rutgers' first drive could not have gone any better for that passing game. 8th, and Kaliakmanis starts out a perfect 7 for 7. A good stretch for 6 by Ian Strong. The Scarlet Knights have a 7-point early lead. It's Big Ten Saturday night. Boston College, Michigan State. Tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern on NBC and Peacock. Here comes Saturday night, presented by Discover. The Rutgers offense scored on every possession in the first half last week in the season opening win, and they looked awfully good there. 11 plays, 75 yards, ending with a 14-yard touchdown strike to Ian Strong.
Paul, what he's doing, Greg Schiano, they're spoiling the fans because they're like, I don't know if we've seen this kind of passing attack. we gotta adjust.
Offense leading the way, at least so far here in Rutgers. And Phil, let's take a closer look at what happened on that scoring strike.
Well, a couple times. Strong is going to be, well, wait till he gets there. Here's Strong on the outside. This is Caleb Martin. Now, what are they doing? Throwing everything out here. Well, he's thinking, yeah, I got it. I know what they're going to do. Releases outside. Look where he protects the sideline. That's why Strong is so wide open in the back of the end zone. And the football got away from Kaliakmanis there just a little bit, but the height saved everybody for the touchdown.
Ian Strong, 7 catches last week and 3 to get this game going. Second possession now for Miami. DeQuan Finn quickly to the sideline. First down, Miami. Much better start to this drive.
Good job. 2 outside receivers clear it out, and there's the receiver coming right behind it, and a really good throw by DeQuan Finn that time.
Cam Perry, former Indiana Hoosier, now for the Miami RedHawks. And as you mentioned, Phil, all the focus goes on DeQuan Finn. He's playing quarterback and all the accomplishments, but the wide receivers didn't help him much last week. Let's see if they can do much better here today. 1st and 10 on the 40. Right back to it. Penalty flag comes out just as running up the sideline was Cam Perry. Pardon me, Keith Reynolds. Would be a gain of 15.
Are they going to call holding on Miami on the block? And the answer is yes.
Illegal formation. Offense. 5 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. First down.
A 15-yard gain, wiped out.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I don't see the illegal procedure there, but good block down the field and something a little different from this Miami offense.
Chuck Martin, all-time winningest coach at Miami. 20 wins the last couple of seasons. Looking for the first year this season. First and 15. They try the ground. Nothing going in the middle. A lot of new starters for the Scarlet Knights. They hold that one to a gain of 1. Let's go back to John Fanta in the studio for a game break.
Guys, a bit of an eyebrow-raising start in Lexington. Ole Miss got beat by Kentucky last year. They're down 10-0 already until Austin Simmons finds Harrison Wallace III on 4th down and 1. Rebels will punch it in a play later. Back to Piscataway.
Wildcats, nice start, catch and run for the close to a score there. Pass game looking good also for Rutgers here. DeQuan Finn lets one go. Receiver wide open at the 20. Sprinting for the end zone, Cam Perry almost got there. Finn to Perry. Cam Miller saved a touchdown. That's a gain of 62.
Really good job. You think about the game in the past so far. Oh, nice double move. Just that little one-step slant opened it up. And the speed and caught it to 1-yard line. But great play design. Didn't see these kind of plays against Wisconsin. But Rutgers got caught that time looking for the short pass.
Down to the ground game into the end zone. What a response from Miami. Deshaunte Jones with 6.
Just go back real quick. What started that, of course, is one thing. A beautiful throw by DeQuan Quinn down the field. And Perry made the catch.
Don Jobin. And there he is. Jones punching it in. And Jobin with a chance to make this a 7-7 game. Boy, did Miami need that to equalize here today and to respond to what happened last week in their opener. They didn't score a point. Finn to Perry sets him up on the doorstep, and then Deshaunte Jones would take care of it from there. For the first time this season, we can say the RedHawks are on the board. From the crew that brought you The Office comes a new comedy of underdogs with major issues. The Paper, streaming now only on Peacock.
Okay, a lot of action.
A whole lot of action.
Yeah, fans are happy. Thank God we came back after that rain and everything.
Had the hour-long weather delay to get extra warmed up, more anticipation, and each one of the offenses has provided a touchdown. Most recent one by Miami, and it didn't take long. 4 plays, 75 yards, a little over 2 minutes off the clock. And Chuck Martin has to love the fact that his passing game came alive.
I'll tell you what, we're noticing, and it's true already, I think. Wisconsin's defense just did everything and just wrecked Miami's offense. Rutgers hadn't even got close to that. I know it's only 2 series, but
yeah, they only had a little over 100 yards last week total, the lowest output in all of FBS.
wow.
You couldn't tell from that one right there. So transitioning now back to the Rutgers offense, thinking mainly about the running game. If you watched them the last couple 3 years, they were all about Kyle Monangai. You've heard his name a number of times already. Over 2,500 yards the last 2 years. Either first or second in the Big Ten the last couple of years. Routinely had between 25 and 30 carries. He was the guy. Well, now he's with the Chicago Bears. And it's a 3-man rotation for Rutgers. Raymond, Campbell, and Benjamin. And Greg Schiano told us yesterday in his office, we'll be by committee until one of those guys proves that we shouldn't be.
Yeah, can you get enough carries to get hot? You got to get, running backs are like anybody on the field. They got to get a feel for the game and what's going on up front.
Play action to Campbell, well protected. And that's a low ball, the first time that Kaliak Manis has missed. He wanted Ian Strong, and he's now 7 out of 8.
Yeah, wide open. This is a play that's routine for the Rutgers offense with these wide receivers. Just misjudged a little. Tried to throw it too hard, I think, and it made him pull the football down.
So back to the running game, and this will play out throughout September. If it continues to be Raymond, Campbell, and Benjamin in a mix, or if one of these guys, as Coach Schiano pointed out, says it should be mostly me. It was mostly Raymond on the first drive. C.J. Campbell is the back now. Right back to the air, sideline shot. Well, that's a heck of a grab out there, right at the sticks. K.J. Duff, well done. Gains 11.
Well, the high school teammates are showing up, but that was a good throw outside, Paul. I think Kaliakmanis tried to throw it to the outside shoulder because you could see the defender was inside and close. So, good catch on the throw.
K.J. Duff starts out hot, just like Ian Strong. 1st and 10. Now here's Campbell, met at the line of scrimmage, and picks up 1 yard. We talked to Athan during the week, and we asked him about the improvement that he showed in week 1. I said, what'd you do to get that much better in the offseason? He said, the ball was never out of my hand.
I tell you, he is a quarterback from start to finish. Works at it really hard. His teammates like him. He's kind of easy going that way. But when he gets on the field, I said it earlier, he says, I can read defenses so much faster this year than I did before. And he worked hard on throwing the football better. And we're seeing it right here in this game.
He said he's noticing things pre and post snap so much quicker. Notices a first down again right there. This time rolling out to the right. Picks up 10 to Ian Strong.
Yeah, that was a play they ran earlier, but changed it a little bit that time, where Ian Strong, coming across the formation, is going to go like he's going deep down the sideline. He pulls up. Well, he was outside already, but a good throw and catch.
You mentioned it that Duff and Strong were teammates on Long Island, just down the road at St. Anthony's. Can you imagine a high school team trying to find a way to stop those two guys?
Nobody did. And the quarterback they had was really good, too.
1st and 10, 45. With a full head of steam. Nice tackle there at the 50-yard line. Got cut down by the cornerback. Caleb Martin picked up 5. Yeah, so you have Strong on one side at 6'3". You've got Duff on the other at 6'6". For more on these two and their history, here's Zorn. Well, they will continue to do work between the two of them right now. They've got 7 grabs. Right at the 50-yard line, 2nd and 5. Now moving to his left and in trouble. Nifty move. Kaliakmanis.
Very nice.
With his feet for a first down.
Kept both hands on the football the whole time, tightly, knowing, not sure who's going to hit him. And that time he did the right thing. Once he realized there's nothing open and he's running, hit the dirt. Or the turf, whatever you want to call this.
Hey, Greg Schiano told us yesterday with a smile, he's like, hey, he was in the 4.7s running in high school. Like, we don't mind him running. We just want him to get down. Now working inside of Miami territory.
Did you ever have a coach say that to you, get down? They said, no, get the extra yard.
They just told me not to run, period, Phil.
Okay.
Inside the 40 for 5, that's Jay Sean Benjamin. The third part of this 3-man rotation. And they told us yesterday we would like to get him more carries. Just had a couple last week.
Right.
Inside of 2 minutes now left in the first quarter.
Yeah, he had 3 carries last week for 17 yards, and that's like I say, when you're trying to work 3 running backs, it might be hard to get that one really stand out because of lack of carries, especially when you're throwing the ball well.
And throwing it really well. Sideline, boy, we have seen that time and time again. Ian Strong with that cushion on the sideline gets 9 and another first.
Well, yeah, big cushion outside, and especially after what they've seen from the team, but they are getting tighter, trying to stay in front of the receiver, reading the quarterback.
Normally, Phil, if the corners are that soft as a quarterback, you expect to see somebody run out there beneath them to make that throw difficult.
Yeah, not the way they play defense, and the big thing is don't miss the tackle and give up extra yards.
Boy, why not? Right back to the air. Here comes a blitz. He avoided the big loss, got a couple there. And what might be the final play of this first quarter, 2-yard game.
Paul, that time they put all the offense basically inside. They made it easy on the defense, so they didn't have to worry about covering the sideline. So one big reason why nobody was open. Kaliakmanis waits. Oh, this is one of the runs. Very nice.
It's kept it himself, and they will go into the second quarter. Rutgers scored on their first drive. Miami scored its first touchdown of the season as a response. Greg Schiano and Ethan Kaliakmanis with a conversation, and Chuck Martin feeling better than he did last week in Madison. Both quarterbacks have only missed one time. Ian Strong with that touchdown grab for Rutgers to put them up early, but Miami came right back. We head to the second quarter, all tied at 7. They got off to a heck of a start, unbeaten right away, but then the tougher times came later in the season. Got outscored in the middle of the season by quite a bit, nearly 2-1 right there. They did come back strong, excellent in the snow in East Lansing. Did make it to a bowl game, couple of consecutive winning seasons. Ethan Kaliakmanis was the starting quarterback for Greg Schiano there. Got so used to seeing Greg on the sideline here at Rutgers, back for his second stint, 17th overall season as the Rutgers head coach. And he liked what his quarterback did in game 1, and I think he loves what he's doing now.
Well, you know, I had a lot of people ask me, did you get a chance to talk to Greg Schiano while you were at practice? I said no, because he's all over the field coaching everybody. I mean, you know, that's who he is. I mean, he was out there on the defensive. Well, he really spent almost the whole day coaching the defense.
He told us he spent the whole week on the
did he?
defensive
Okay,
side.
that's right.
They basically kind of came apart a little bit in the second half last week against a good quarterback for Ohio. So that was his focus during the week, getting ready here.
They got to be a little concerned. I know it's early, and I'm not going to overstate it. At least I hope I don't. But they're not getting pressure on the quarterback. And there's Kaliakmanis. What a name! I've been saying it all week long, and I'm scared to death to say it because I'll mess it up.
I think numbers-wise, what jumps out in that middle part of his career, in the mid-50s for percentage, close to 80 last week, and he's only missed once here today heading into the second quarter.
Tight coverage on the field by Miami.
Tailback is C.J. Campbell. They've been pass heavy, and that is a bullet right on the money for another first down. Ian Strong is having himself a first half.
Yeah, that was a great throw. Not great throw, really good throw. Just the rhythm to it. That's the one thing with Kaliakmanis that he talked about. Oh, nice turn, just rips it in there. They throw a lot of these slants. They throw a lot of outcuts.
Ian had 7 catches for 100 yards last week, and he's already up to 6 today.
Good anticipation. Didn't have to see it coming out of the cut. And we know these receivers want to run good routes, right, Paul?
Exactly.
Because we heard some coaches yelling at them.
We're on him yesterday. It was not a casual run-through. Kaliakmanis, back shoulder. Incomplete. Went right back to Strong and couldn't quite pull it in. Caleb Martin, nice coverage.
It looked like Strong could not get his arm free. Right? Did you see that? It looks like he's trying to catch it one-handed. Nope, it's all good. Good coverage. Oh, well, there's a little pull on the jersey, but still.
The crowd lets you know what they think as they play it, of course, on the big screen.
Well, we know the crowd's not always right. I'm just telling you it was okay. Though we think we are, right?
That's all that matters. Yeah,
that's right.
Second and 10. The Miami run defense has been pretty good so far. Campbell got back to the line of scrimmage, give him about a half a yard to bring up 3rd and long.
Starting to look like this to me. They're going to run the football just so the wide receivers can catch their breath.
Get a break. Hey, Adam Trick made that stop, the defensive end. He wears number 20. We loved watching him this week coming in.
Big time. I mean, he really is. He's the dominant force up front for this team. Captain.
He's got to look at Kurt Shiraka, the offensive coordinator for Rutgers. Tough call here.
Tight coverage again.
Kaliakmanis stands in. Little too much there, and a flag comes in late. Caleb Martin with tight coverage on Strong and maybe a little too tight.
holding defense, number 17. Half the distance to the goal, automatic. First down.
Well, they took him out. Here we go, right here. Yeah, he rode it way too long, got his left arm wrapped around. That was a good call. Chuck Martin goes, oh my gosh, we had him where we wanted him.
Yeah, a tough break. He knew it. They held him. They held literally there, but man, it's a huge call. Sets him up first and goal inside the 10. Touchdown apiece so far, but Rutgers trying to change that. Kelly Akmanis, end zone. Second down.
Yeah, that was a bad read by Kelly Akmanis that time. When you see the receiver here, Paul, you know Duff is going down the sideline. You can't lead him. You got to throw it behind him. Trying to shake him. If you throw it back where the receiver has to completely turn around and face his chest to you, that's what you want.
Tony Coleman, nice job there. That's 6'2", holding up against 6'6" for Rutgers. Second down goal. Kelly Akmanis, solid start. He's 11 out of 14. Rolling through the hands of DT Sheffield. Well, he was thinking about sprinting for that pylon.
Well, we're seeing this. Miami of Ohio, what's the defense? I'm not quizzing you here, Paul, but what are we noticing here in the last maybe 5, 6, 7 throws? They're trying to play a little tighter.
I mean, one would think.
They got a feel for it, though. They're like, okay, I think we can cover these guys man-to-man.
Well, big down coming up here for the Miami defense. They thought they just stopped him on 3rd and long. Now another chance, 3rd and goal from the 8.
Everybody near the line of scrimmage on the defensive side.
Kelly Akmanis in trouble. Down he goes. Linebacker blitz. Jackson Kuwach got him.
Oh, good job, good hustle, staying with it. Nobody was open down the field. And Kelly Akmanis just decided to hold on to the football instead of throwing it away. But a good effort, good tackle, good stand by the Miami defense.
39 yards out. Jay Patel has made 15 consecutive field goals here. That's a school record. And go ahead and make it 16 in a row. A mini win there for the Miami defense, though. They don't allow the touchdown. Greg Schiano's side up 10-7.
It's time for a game break. Let's go to Lexington. SEC showdown. Lane Train and Ole Miss have found their footing. Damian Taylor from a yard out. The Rebels have taken the lead. Back to Paul and Phil in Piscataway.
Hey, John, thank you. Little back and forth there. Ole Miss and Kentucky. And we've got a good one here as well. Early in the second quarter, Greg Schiano knows he's in for a battle here. Miami responded well to going down 7-0. Now down 10-7. They just saw Rutgers kick a field goal, Phil, after a 16-play drive.
You know, Paul, we heard this a lot, right? The fact that all these coaches on both staffs know each other and their style, what they're going to do.
Daquan Finn waiting for the chance. They won't even try to bring that one back. They'll come out to the 25. Phil, he was not protected well in Madison for week 1. Early on, the protection has looked much better for him.
Oh, it's a dramatic change. Look what this offensive line's doing. They had a little extra protection in there, which I like. And, oh, they're pushing them together. Look how wide open outside, and this is the killer shot. Deep down the field. Cam Perry has to wait just a little bit against Jed Elad and gets it down to the 1-yard line.
He had 83 yards passing total last week, Phil. He's got 83 right now. That's behind a sharp 4 out of 5 beginning.
Rutgers blitzing.
Steps up. Little floater. A diving effort. And that's a heck of a catch. Cam Perry picks up 13.
Well, once again, just so to highlight, he said, well, if you guys show that play, I'll get another one here. But, man, getting pulled in the back. Nice catch. Gets his hands and arms underneath it. They're excited on the offensive side.
They ought to be with the way they've done the last couple of drives. Boy, fingertip grab. Well done. Man. Whistles blow. I think they're going to take another look there.
Miami, they're first. This will be a full media timeout.
Just inside of 12 minutes until halftime. Chuck Martin and the RedHawks down 3. Big Ten Saturday is brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. By Ford Blue Cruise, hands-free highway driving. And by T-Mobile. Taking a look at pictures there, the only universities with a president and a Super Bowl winning quarterback from that school, and we're showing it because Miami of Ohio. Benjamin Harrison and Ben Roethlisberger, two-time Super Bowl champion, and Chuck Martin right now is watching his team just like last week at Madison hang in there well. This time the offense is much better. They're taking another look at what was ruled a completion to Cam Perry on a diving catch before the timeout, and there it is.
Hands under it. Oh, I think it's okay.
He maintained control.
That's my guess.
The referee is Billy Williams, Big Ten crew here today. And they said, yes, that's a catch.
I guess they didn't want to announce it. So. If it was Rutgers, they would have announced it, I guess. Oh, that was the strange 5 minutes.
Felt like 5. I think it was only a couple.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Bottom line, Miami on the move once again like they were in the last drive. Finn keeps it. Good idea. There he goes. DeQuan Finn. Big run near the 20-yard line. Eventually, Salam brought him down.
Boy, nice fake. Everything is good. Good blocking up front. And what really is, watch this Finn here, and then all of a sudden he just turns it on and gets a lot of extra yards here. So good blocking up front. Good play call by Chuck Martin. Doesn't want to run his quarterback a whole lot. And after what I've seen today, I understand why. He's pretty dang good. That's why they brought him in. Throws the football well. And when he needs to, he can show how mobile he is.
He's approaching 2,000 career rushing yards after that run. Deep inside of Rutgers territory, little flip. That was well played out of the flat. Keith Reynolds catch, tackled by Abram Wright. Here's Zora.
Well, Paul, the first score of the day for Miami was their first score of the season, and there was no fanfare on the Miami sidelines after that. DeQuan Finn immediately went to the iPad, started preparing for the next possession. Head coach Chuck Martin calls him a football junkie. He's the only player on the team that brings a pen and paper, a notebook, to every single team meeting. Martin said the best thing about him is that he loves to learn.
Yeah, Zora, thank you very much. That was a great part of the conversation that we had with Chuck Martin this week about his new quarterback. And taking his time right here, he said, you get a transfer quarterback with success. Now the whistle blows.
You know, not to challenge anything, Paul.
And they called a timeout again, but go ahead, Phil. Well, I take that back. I invited you in, and I have to throw it a
Sorry. I've been shunned before. Not a big deal.
Back to Piscataway right after this. Miami's 24-year-old quarterback, DeQuan Finn, in his 7th season. What a road it has been. He played 5 years at Toledo, and he was terrific there. Won a lot more than he lost, and the individual accomplishments, terrific. He's been a regular season MVP. He's been the player of the game in the MAC championship. Went to Baylor last year. He was their starting quarterback right away. Suffered an upper body injury, took a medical red shirt, and is playing his final season right now for Miami. And Phil playing pretty well so far.
Oh, very well. I mean, he's probably so excited because nothing like this happened last week. So they're putting a lot of pressure on this Rutgers defense.
You saw the stat there. He's accounted for more touchdowns than any player in the NCAA. Just ran for a bunch of yards and now going to get some here too. Down near the 10-yard line, the immediate acceleration gets 9.
Well, it was a blitz by Rutgers. They tried to time it. They showed their cards too quick. He knew it was going to be a blitz. And watch as he drops back, sees that lane and take off. You see the defender way outside, gives him a gap to run in. Just want to make this comment too, Paul.
Yeah.
Chuck Martin talking about him always bringing a notepad to all the meetings.
Yeah.
Well, show me a quarterback that doesn't take it all the time, and I'll show you guys sitting on the bench.
He did say it was really refreshing that sometimes you get a transfer that's had a lot of success, they're not open to learning, and he said he's been the exact opposite.
Right.
Wants to be coached, and he's really enjoying that. Finn floats it. Nice catch. Penalty flag came in, and another one at the end of the play. Would be a catch for gain of 8 to Kenny Tracy. A couple of flags to sort through here.
You know, the fact that they're blocking pretty well up front, really well, that is opening up the playbook for Chuck Martin and Daquan, Finn here. It really is. We're seeing more plays. I've already seen more plays than I do.
Both by the offense. Holding, offense number 78. That bully's decline. Pass interference, offense number 86. That 15-yard penalty be a force for the previous spot. Remains first down.
A couple of penalties deep in the red zone on both sides of the ball have worked against Miami so far. I think they're going to get Brian Shane right there on a pick on the completion to Kenny Tracy. He was the inside there. Now the big tight end, and they were going to be inside the 5, and now they're at the 25. Finn, look out, picked off, and now a race to the end zone. Bo Masco inside the 15. Nice hustle to Quan Finn. Boy, you could see that one coming, Phil, the second it left his hand.
We can see it from up here, yes, and he was sitting out there the whole time. Daquan Finn, I think, just didn't see it clean enough. Ball goes exactly where he wants to go, and Masco just makes the undercuts, gets the interception, and good hustle by the quarterback to stop him short of the touchdown. Oh, it was a great job. Chuck the outside receiver, fall off, be the short coverage guy.
Now, Finn did a lot of running on that drive, had a run for over 60 yards, and he's the one that prevented that touchdown. Tackled him like he knew what he was doing, too. All right, Kaliak-Manis keeps it. And he gets down to the 5-yard line. They are using those wheels that Coach Schiano told us about yesterday. He got 7.
Boy, really good job. What you see when Kaliak-Manis, when he makes these fakes, he stays with the running back a long time. I noticed that in practice this week. And the defender is there to make the play, but he's got to guess who to go after. Look how long he stays with it. Man. Yeah, the runner, yeah, you got him, but I got the ball.
That time gives to Raymond. He's in trouble. He gets away and got down to the 1. Impressive run. Safety Eli Blakey nearly had him in the backfield.
Yeah, last week, Antoine Raymond, he was 14 carries for 88 yards. So he might be the running back you need to give more carries to make plays like he just did.
Give him another there, and he pays off. Antoine Raymond with his 2nd touchdown of the season puts Rutgers on top 16-7.
You know, Paul, much better job by the offensive line. Between commercials, I was complaining about the Rutgers offensive line. Not physical enough, but nobody gets any penetration. Outside for the touchdown.
Jay Patel has a field goal and 1 extra point already. And a chance to put his team up by 10. Scarlet Knights now up 17-7. The coaches talk a lot about complementary football, defense to offense, and that's exactly what we just saw here. Bo Masco with the read and then the sprint. Didn't quite get to the house, but that's okay. Antoine Raymond said, I will take it from here. Rutgers leads by 10.
John Fanta checking in with a game break. Rutgers' homecoming opponent is the Oregon Ducks. And after Mike Gundy shared some words for Dan Lanning and his program, Oregon has made Oklahoma State pay. Jaden Lamar caps a huge half. 41-3 Oregon leads, fellas.
John, I'm multitasking here. I want to respond to all of Oregon's points, but they just had Phil Simms on the large screen here, and everybody applauded. And I felt like I needed to take part in that, too.
Well, dang, why didn't you hit me so I could see how I look?
I was pointing to you. You look good.
Really? Okay, yeah, you're lying.
The shot was from a long way away.
That's okay. I believe you now.
You didn't hear that?
No, I did not.
It was a good moment.
You know, certain things come into your life where you just don't want to hear certain things, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't hear my wife sometimes.
That's my segue, because I know my wife is watching, to Quan Finn. 6 out of 8. Okay, now, when you've started this many games, and he started 36 games, you've been in this spot before where you threw a bad pick, it led to a touchdown, and you got to put it behind you.
Absolutely, and I think he will. They got a lot of answers, I think, so far to this Rutgers defense. He's not been under pressure, so he should be able to get back in rhythm and get rid of that thought in his head.
Gives to Kenny Tracy. He gets 3 on first down, and they've been in this spot one time so far, Phil, and that's needing to respond. They were down 7-0. They came right back with a nice touchdown drive there, and they need that again.
Yep, Chuck Martin, very honest about his football team, talking to us about how they just can't make certain mistakes. When the time comes, he will be aggressive and take chances. That time is not there now.
Keeps it himself again and gets him awfully close. It'll be 3rd down and 3. One of the things that Chuck Martin pointed out to us quite a few times in our conversation this week about the game last week at Wisconsin where they didn't score, he said we did not match their physicality. What do you see in there today?
I just see a better effort, a better understanding of what you want to do on both sides from Miami. So it's let's be honest. You go up to Wisconsin, you're playing a big, powerful football team. I mean, that was tough. And today, it's a little different thing. They felt good about playing against Rutgers defense. To see a team more creative, looser, making a lot more plays, of course.
Real chance to show that physicality now on 3rd and short. Tracy hit the backfield, and it's Rutgers winning the physical battle that side. Loss of 2.
Very conservative play call. Don't like to sit here and second guess, but I was thinking, oh, quarterback keep, sprint out, short throw, whatever. Lots of options there. Inside, just no chance.
2 DNs crashing down, Phil. Eric O'Neal and Jordan Walker.
That was a big stop against Miami and for Rutgers.
Here's Stanton standing on his own 18 to DT Sheffield.
That was a penalty. Moving forward before the ball was snapped.
Ball start. Offense number 46. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
4 penalties now against Miami and still 0 for Rutgers.
Watch the receiver outside. Oh, let me get. Oh, trying to make a signal moving forward. That's illegal.
See if Rutgers turns their rushers loose here. They blocked a punt last week against Ohio. Punt for a touchdown, actually, and they lead the nation with 11 blocked punts since 2022.
Greg Schiano, special teams, punting, kicking extra points, blocking them, no surprise.
Almost got there that time. DT Sheffield, fair catch on the 29. Boy, Phil, there was a second there where I thought that was going to be a block for sure.
Oh, yeah, it looks like he's got it, and just at the last second misses it.
MJ Johnson.
MJ Johnson, number 17. They put a lot of time, and of course, I'm not surprised by this. Greg Schiano making that body language there, knowing they had it. But boy, they put a lot of time at practice just on special teams. And I know every team does. Rutgers does that and a lot more.
Let's come back to our top story here as he's back on the field, Phil. Ethan Kaliakmanis, he was the first name you talked about today. 11 out of 15. Buck 11, 1 touchdown so far. Right back to the air. He's done this a few times today, and that's take off, and that time he only got a couple yards.
Little different coverage that time, Paul. They wanted to throw the short pass to the outside, but the Miami defense made an adjustment. Nobody open. Really good job, and a good job by Kaliakmanis just to get a few yards.
And we haven't seen him hit that throw underneath the soft corner here recently either.
Yeah, let's watch, and then we got the in cut there too. Let's see if I did it right. Well, the out, no, a little double move. The in cut's covered. Nothing. Nobody close to open for the quarterback.
Second down. Sideline. Going up to get it for a first. That's been a theme here for Rutgers. 9-yard gain to Duff.
Yep, not many teams do what Rutgers is doing. Throwing the football outside near the numbers or to the sideline. You know, Paul, you know it. Most teams, they throw it. They want everything in the front of them and this inside, and they're afraid of throwing it to the boundary.
Yeah.
Well, when you do it all the time, then it becomes just another great example of how I want to make a play.
Kaliakmanis once again favoring the wide receivers. All but one of his completions going to his wideout so far. 1st and 10. Sheffield. Just an easy pickup of 5 there on 1st down. And who doesn't love 2nd and 5?
Yeah, like a run. It was a running play there that time.
And one of the major things for Ethan Kaliakmanis in coming here to Rutgers, probably the #1 thing, Phil, that his offensive coordinator, Kurt Shiraka, that he had at Minnesota, had been here for a year after he left the Twin Cities. And those two being reunited has been good for both of them.
Oh, absolutely. Trust each other.
Up the middle. Now Kaliakmanis kept it himself. Picks up a first. For more on the connection here at Rutgers between quarterback and offensive coordinator, here's Zora.
When talking about Kirk Shiraka, Ethan Kaliakmanis said, there is no one else I'd rather have calling plays for me. The quarterback said he feels like he was destined to be here playing for him again. In response to that, Shiraka said, I get along with anyone who wants to be the best player they can possibly be. And for some context, these two guys met years ago when Kaliakmanis was just 14 years old. Shiraka was recruiting him to Minnesota.
And they spent a little time there in Minneapolis, and they have reheated that relationship here the last couple of years. And looks to be off to a good start here in his 2nd season. Start for the Scarlet Knights. They run it back inside to get 3 there to bring up 2nd down. And Shiraka told us, he said when he saw the name in the portal of Ethan Kaliakmanis, he flew to Minneapolis to meet with him. He said, I wanted to see about his mindset. He said, I got the feeling right away that he was much more open to coaching and asking, what did I do wrong, than his previous relationship with him.
Yeah, that's interesting. I know he said that. What did I do wrong? He wasn't blaming anybody. Nothing like being comfortable, knowing the offensive coordinator knows what you really like and can call plays accordingly.
Nice pocket. A little low there for Sheffield. Brings up 3rd down and 7. And that was the kind of pass that he offered up quite a bit in Minnesota a couple of years ago. And he's really cut down on those low balls.
Yeah, I think this time here, just got a little careful. And, you know, it didn't come out of his hand well. You could tell just because the ball was not rotating as hard as it usually does when he throws it.
At 3rd down, they need 7. Three wideouts to his right. Over the middle. 1st down. Time and accuracy for 11 yards.
Well, just watch how the pocket collapses, though. And he stood in there and made the throw. He had no choice, nowhere to go.
Injured Scarlet Knight, one of their offensive linemen. And that's Dante Chin, their left tackle. He is the most inexperienced of the group up front. Making his 7th career start.
Had a really good camp for Rutgers. They were very excited about what he could do this year for him, and especially when you're talking about the left tackle.
6'4", 320 senior from Weston, Florida. Got his feet wet starting at left guard last year with a few starts. And a big job this year at left tackle. Yeah, good to see chin up, walking under his own power.
That's a big man. And very important to the Rutgers offense.
Tyler Needham coming in for him. 76, their left part of your screen got rolled up on.
That is the biggest thing. Offensive linemen, it's like they never get hurt doing anything except when people fall on them. And the college level and in the pros too.
So Tyler Needham comes in, 6'4", 305 senior from Newtown, Pennsylvania. Played at William Penn College before coming here to Rutgers. How about that? You're watching the game on the sideline one play, and then you're in a left tackle.
Yeah.
The Rutgers came out strong on offense. Ethan Kaliak-Manis didn't miss on his first drive. Touchdown pass to Ian Strong. More recently here in the second quarter, after the defense set him up inside the 10-yard line with an interception, Antoine Raymond with a touchdown run.
Yeah, we were doing of course, we're doing the game talking, and you kind of said, well, they're going to score and go ahead. It was going to be 14-10.
They were coming back.
So, good answer by the Rutgers defense. And I think the one thing that we've seen so far today here, both teams have kind of opened up about who they are. Don't you agree? More plays, different plays on both sides.
You see the clock ticking there, so Ethan Kaliak-Manis, Rutgers offense, will stay on the sideline for the 2-minute timeout. Rutgers already 1-0 on the season, looking to add to a 10-point lead just before halftime.
Ian Strong.
The big wide receivers for Ethan Kaliak-Manis have been big so far already. For Strong and Duff, 10 catches and over 100 yards as a tandem.
Well, he's got some defenders that are a little scared. Look on the outside. Here comes Strong down the field and just rolls right out of it. And the throw is perfectly on time. And then turn. Here comes the football right away. Another one. And here, bad coverage, bad thought process. They blow it. And Strong in the back. Nice catch.
This team that led the Big Ten in rushing attempts last year has 100 more passing yards than rushing so far today, and they've been much more about the air than the ground. 1st and 10. Another pass. Right on target inside the 20. Strong with another one right on the chest for 16.
Well, that's why we show those highlights. We knew he was going to run that route. But, boy, you're right. Right on target. And that time, Kaliak-Manis, he let it go. That might have been one of his better throws of the day.
Perfect spiral.
Let's watch. Good turn, man. He's getting his body into the throws. That's the secret to being accurate. Or one of the secrets.
Now they run it. Campbell has a lane. Almost to the end zone. A lot of room there to the left side to set up 1st and goal. He got 18.
That's what you want to see from a running back. 70 yards last week for Campbell, but we block it well. Okay, there it is. Now, help us out, break the tackle, and just run through them. Boy, nice job, Campbell. Strong, holding that football high and tight.
Right back on the line. Campbell, another touchdown. A late flag comes in. Right about when he was crossing the goal line.
Holding. Offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. First out.
Well, the good news is Dante Chin is back in the game after being out with an injury, but bad news is he just cost him a touchdown.
'76 right here in the middle.
Yep.
Hard to see. But when you're down there on the field like the officials are, of course, easy pickings.
Greg Schiano's offense now over 200 yards of total offense for the day. Looking to add to a 10-point lead.
Miami playing run defense.
Kelly Akmanis, end zone, touchdown. KJ Duff, nice catch.
Pass interference. Defense, number 21. That pose decline. Result of the play, touchdown.
A really strong throw from Kelly Akmanis. And Duff just turns around, gets both hands on, like a back shoulder pretty much, but gets both hands on it and makes the catch. And the high school teammates are tearing it up.
You got 6'6", 1-on-1 against a 6'2" cornerback. It's not a bad idea. Jay Patel makes it 24-7. Yeah, the former high school teammates on Long Island have a touchdown apiece. KJ Duff reaches up, comes down with it. Kelly Akmanis having himself an outing, couple of touchdowns, and a big lead close to halftime. Let's take a look at our upcoming schedule presented by Liberty Mutual. Looking at next Saturday, 3 games. Towson, Maryland, noon on Peacock. Then to the evening, Ohio against number 1 Ohio State, 7 p.m. on Peacock. And Big Ten Saturday nights, number 19 Texas A&M and number 9 Notre Dame from South Bend. That's at 7:30 on NBC. And rumor has it, I'm getting a different Sims in Columbus next Saturday night, Phil. Is this true?
It is true. And all I can say to you is good luck.
That's what he said to me about you.
Did he say that?
No, I just made that up.
That's all right.
All right, coming up on the Xfinity halftime report, all the biggest plays from around the country so far. And a preview coming up of Boston College and Michigan State from Mike, Matt, and Jordan. Ahmed Fareed, Joshua Perry, and Chris Sims. Nicole Auerbach all in the studio, and that's coming up in 1 minute and 20 seconds. Until then, Phil, let's see what DeQuan Finn in his 35th start can do here. Has 1 timeout left.
Well, victory here would be, can they get in field goal position?
Good protection initially. Now flushed out. Lets it go. Wow, what a play.
Wow, that's right.
Big gain down to the 45. Cam Perry with the catch.
And running to his right, losing yards as he's going, not backwards, but farther away from the receiver, and found a way to get a lot of power on that throw outside.
We talked a lot about how efficient Kelly Akmanis has been, but Finn now 7 out of 9. Right back on the ball. Steps up, in trouble. Somehow got away. He's got room. DeQuan Finn inside of Rutgers territory. Clock stops, picks up 13.
Let's go back to this very first pass that got this drive going. Gets outside and able to just clear his body to make that throw. Perfect spiral down the field. And then he gets rushed. And I think the Rutgers guys almost ran into each other, freed him up, and he had a nice run.
1st and 10, 45, steps up. That ball was tipped right when it came out of his hand. Now Rutgers thinks that was a fumble, but the ball was knocked down after he passed it.
Well, you got to pick it up and run it with there's no whistles, nothing, so you think the play is still alive.
A big Eric O'Neal did get a hand on it, but it looked like a pass that fell incomplete.
Miami still has 1 timeout.
And Finn has become a real threat rushing the ball. He's got over 90% of his team's rushing yards so far. And he's 7 out of 10. He's doing this well. Dives to the 40. They do have the 1 timeout. Clock ticking.
Rutgers knows it's going to be passed, so the defensive line really doing a good job right now of pressuring.
3rd and 5.
DeQuan Finn.
Boy, he's going to get away again. 1st down plus. Slides at the 27. 18 seconds left. The clock will stop momentarily while they set the chains. Dom Jobin, the field goal kicker, long of 51, so they're well inside of his range.
I think they got what they wanted, in position to kick a field goal to give them some momentum going in.
Take the easy one to the sideline. Now he's got to get out of bounds. Picks up 6.
Paul still have a timeout, so they can still throw the football inside.
But more often than not today, Daquan Finn has impressed and looked like the experienced quarterback who's accounted for more touchdowns than any player in the nation.
They're first.
Okay, they do Miami a favor. They can meet, and they still have that one timeout left. All right, 11 seconds left here, Phil, with the timeout. What are you thinking?
That's a good question. I think if you try to throw the ball down the field for the touchdown, you're only going to have time left to try the field goal. So you got one play, almost no matter what you do with the football.
You talk about one play. Here's the biggest play of the game. Miami was only down 3 earlier in this quarter, driving, but then Bo Masco stepped up and did that. Took it back 68 yards.
Yeah, we're thinking it's going to be 14-10, Miami leading, and instead it takes it down to 17-7 for Rutgers.
Yeah, Rutgers turned that into a touchdown. They've scored again. So Greg Schiano's group responded well after we had a little back and forth going. But now Miami for Chuck Martin looking to finish with some positivity here, heading to the halftime locker room. 11 seconds left with the one timeout.
Bump and run against both receivers outside, so that would be, and a seam by the slot guy could be a chance too.
Finn's averaging over 10 yards per carry if he decides to keep it. Puts it up. Got a man. Deion Colsey almost. 3 years at Notre Dame, his first year at Miami. Now 6 seconds left.
Well, they're going to kick.
Okay, out comes Dom Jobin. What did Chuck Martin say to us during the week? We got to play like we're going to play during the conference season. And this is likely what they would do in October and November.
Timeout. Rutgers, they're second. 30 seconds to life.
Now, there is a way of thinking with 6 seconds left and a timeout that you could take one more shot.
If you were the coach, I'd abide by what you said, but otherwise, no, I would not take a shot. No, I just think it's too risky, and there's too much that you've accomplished in this drive. This has to make them feel pretty good,
right?
I mean, I'm watching Chuck Martin walk up and down the sideline, and he's going, it's been there. He's so frustrated because he feels like they're playing better, and they are, than 24-7. But that's where it is, and try to fight your way out of it. I think a field goal right here is a big deal for him.
Let's see how far out this is, because Dom Jobin in his career, he's 19 out of 19 inside of 40 yards. And this is just inside of 40 yards.
Just a little bit inside.
I'd say a couple of inches.
Yep.
Snap and hold, good. Jobin. And right down the middle, stays perfect from inside of 40 yards. 2 seconds left, and now the lead is 14. But as you pointed out, Phil, they got to feel good about what they just did heading to the locker room.
Absolutely. And Daquan Finn at halftime, ice him down. Do whatever you got to do to get ready for the second. He is working.
8 out of 12. Awfully efficient. He has 123 yards passing. But he has been equally, if not more impressive, running the ball.
My gosh, 84 yards rushing.
On 6 carries.
Well, we're seeing why they went out there and got him. Hard to judge it last week, and I think all week we talked about it. I just said you can't judge him what he showed against Wisconsin. I think the real player is what we're watching today.
Now, Zora talked about it just when the game started, about that search for getting better. Search for improvement week 1 to week 2. Down 14, yes, but Miami a heck of a lot better than they were at Camp Randall a week ago. And DeQuan Finn is giving them hope. Two ticks left on the clock. Ben Black, his first touch of the season.
Fumble.
Now, there's a fumble there. There's no time left.
No time, yes.
Those 2 seconds had already expired. And so Rutgers was the team that scored first, and they're the team in control here. They beat Miami of the MAC a week ago, and now they're up 24-10, heading to the halftime locker room against Chuck Martin's RedHawks. Ethan Kaliak-Manis has 2 touchdown passes, and that's the 2-touchdown lead for the home team. You'll be in the studio with Ahmed and the guys after the break.
Welcome to the Xfinity Halftime Report.
Huge turning point in the game. Bo Masco, the interception with Rutgers up by 3, and Joshua Perry, you love it. Defense turning to offense.
Listen, it only takes one play to swing a game, and as you mentioned, turns into offense. That was the thing that blew this margin open for Rutgers in the first half.
2-touchdown lead after the first half of play. So glad you're with us. It is the Xfinity Halftime Report. Joshua Perry, Chris Sims, Nicole Auerbach. I am Ahmed Fareed. More on our game in just a little bit, but we start with the college football reset presented by Xfinity. More action from the day starting in Austin. Chris Sims, Arch Manning, not a great debut to this season against Ohio State. Looked a whole lot better today against San Jose State.
Well, you couldn't have picked a harder place to start your career than Ohio State last week. Got off to a little sluggish start here. I feel like you could feel the anxiety and the pressure in the stadium on Arch Manning, but this breaks it open, and he had to feel good about this. This was a great throw up the left sideline, hits Parker Livingstone, and from there on out, it seemed like Sarkisian and Manning were very comfortable and played a lot of good football.
295 yards, 4 touchdowns, did have a pick. He proved it, that he could do it. He could get it done. You have called this Prove It week for the Big Ten. Why, Nicole?
I have, because we know the top of the Big Ten is very good, right? And they're going to be in the college football playoff conversation. Today and this weekend, this is about the depth. This is about teams like Illinois, like Oregon, teams that have high-profile games against the ACC and the Big 12, trying to make the point that the Big Ten is better than just the top.
All right, so we'll start at the top, though, with Oregon, and they were trying to prove that Mike Gundy should not talk during the week, because I think at the bottom of your screen right now, you're seeing Mike Gundy, the coach of Oklahoma State, talking about the advantages that Oregon has with their roster. This is what Dan Lanning had to say in response to that.
You know, ultimately, how blessed are we to be in a place that's invested in winning? If you want to be a top 10 team in college football, you better be invested in winning. And we spend to win. Some people save to have an excuse for why they don't.
That is a strong,
I love it.
Strong soundbite. So the Duck was ready to go. Oregon's offense was ready to go. Dante Moore to Malik Benson. Forget about it.
We could have picked, 15 different plays from the first half here for Oregon. It was just explosive. They knew exactly what they wanted. They dialed it up, and they executed very well in a matchup that maybe they couldn't have taken so seriously after seeing.
Why would you poke the bear of Oregon? I don't understand that.
They're going to keep running it up, too.
They should.
They are asking that question themselves right now. All right, Illinois at Duke. So Duke getting some stuff done on offense, but 2 of 5 turnovers, or 2nd of 5 turnovers today for Duke. They were struggling. Then the Illini got that offense rolling.
They sure did, and it's going to be one of those games that Duke is not going to want to watch back because of those turnovers and self-inflicted wounds. But Illinois really imposing its will by the end. And I said, prove it. Okay, they're trying to prove themselves as a team that should be a CFP contender, and that was a really dominant win over a good Duke team.
Hank Beatty, 8 catches, 128 yards in this one. Syracuse was down 11 with 6 minutes to play, coming back with the run game.
Here they go. Run game got going, got off to a bad start in the football game altogether, but they were clutch down the stretch, right? That was the big thing here. Okay, you get the field goal. It's 20-all, and now we're going into overtime. And we saw a number of nice throws here, touchdown, clutch moment, little out route, reaches it over. Good job controlling the football to the ground.
So Syracuse's offense, and now the defense needs to stop, and they would be able to get it.
Defense always got to come up big at the end of the game. Huge stop right here. I know Fran wasn't necessarily feeling the greatest, about this win, but it's a win. You got to take it.
Way to go, Steve Angeli.
So this is how you can tell he was not feeling the greatest, because he made his team run wind sprints at the end of the game.
Some of those guys are jogging, by the way.
Yeah,
those
well,
aren't
they should
necessarily
be.
wind
I mean,
sprints.
some of those guys played a 4-quarter football game, or actually 5 quarters into the overtime.
Did he just watch the movie Miracle? Do you think that's where the inspiration comes from?
I don't know.
Again.
He was out there with him. He was out there with him. Iowa had a chance to prove that they got an offense to go with their defense.
They don't.
They did not.
Iowa State. They do not, unfortunately. We got a couple big games. Obviously, our Big Ten Saturday night game coming up, Boston College versus Michigan State in East Lansing, guys. Joshua, I'll start with you on this one. I mean, because to Nicole's point, this is a big prove-it game for both of these teams.
It is, and we've seen steps from both of them. I think they appreciate where they are at this point in the year. But for Michigan State, it's about Aiden Childs and his ability to go out there and lead. He's supported by pretty good wide receivers. I like what they have on the run game, and they're very fundamental. But he's got to be the guy to make sure that he doesn't put his team in a bad position.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I like Aiden Childs a lot, but they're going to be up some stiff competition here. Billy O'Brien, what he does, NFL game planner, game play caller. They're detailed, they're tough. I think it's going to be a very good game to watch.
And they've got a new quarterback that they brought in from Alabama. Bill O'Brien's known him for a number of years, beefed up the defensive line. It's a really interesting matchup for two pretty evenly matched programs.
So that will be our game coming up later tonight. While that game is going on, we will keep an eye on Michigan and Oklahoma, a couple quarterbacks that Chris Sims is in love with. I wasn't going to say love, but you said it, so now I will say it. Big 12 SEC score alert from just moments ago. Kansas and Missouri. Kansas was up 21-6 in this one. All Missouri, though, lately. Bo Pribula to Brett Norfleet. Mizzou up by 4. We'll keep you updated on that one. It is Big Ten Saturday night, though. Boston College, Michigan State. Like we told you, tonight, 7 Eastern on NBC and Peacock. You always know how to party in East Lansing. Been there before.
Yeah, have you? You've been a part of those parties?
Not me. You know me.
Yeah, I know. You don't do that.
Michael Robinson, Jordan Cornette, and Matt Castle there with the crew. Hey, guys.
Hey, Ahmed, you know, there's a wind in the air, and with that comes a wave of nostalgia, if you will, for our very own Mike Robin. You're looking at me like I'm crazy, because you didn't know I knew this. Okay. But on this very field, 20 years ago, you clinched a Big Ten title on a BCS Bowl berth.
Let's go!
The 2005 Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year. What do you remember?
Get loose! Well, first of all, I remember a lot. I remember winning the Big Ten here. Jordan, I thought we were homies, man. You were supposed to tell me about this.
This is your opportunity to let everybody know how you got down.
This was awesome, winning the Big Ten on this field. Man, what a great feeling, especially because we had went through so much adversity at Penn State. Really been cool to see.
Hey, Matt, he ran for a touchdown in that game. He threw for a touchdown, and it's for that very reason he was the Offensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten in 05.
I thought we were talking wideouts. What are you guys talking about, man?
Went to the Orange Bowl, 3 overtimes,
yeah,
beat
three overtimes. Yeah, we did bring home that Orange Bowl win, man, but it was a great team victory, man. Again, winning the Big Ten always
Just want
special.
everybody to know I'm working with stars here. As for the game tonight, Aiden Childs getting a lot of the shine, but there's another personnel group you like with these Spartans.
Yes, it's the wide receiver group, and it starts with Nick Marsh. He had an outstanding freshman year. He's looking to build on that, but then it's the transfer additions. Omari Kelly, McCray, those guys come in. They're dynamic. They add speed, and they're really excited about this group.
And Nick Marsh, he's the coverage dictator for this offense. Wherever he lines up on the offense, the defense responds, and it just adds space to this offense so that running game can get going, and those explosive play-action passes should show up tonight.
Nick Marsh, very hungry, 649 receiving yards last year. Yeah. He wants 1K this year. Enjoy your second half. Back at Rutgers, everyone.
All right, thank you, guys. We don't want Mike Robb to be the only one surprised by a flashback, Joshua Perry, because we have some video from 11 years ago today.
Is that
right? This is Flashback Central. Virginia Tech coming to the Horseshoe. Look at that number 37.
Wow, look at him.
Well, why are we showing
the
this,
quarterback?
though?
Oh, great.
Nice one.
Why are you not happy?
Well, you know exactly what the hell I'm
I
not
was going to
happy.
say, they very famously lost this game.
We got blown out.
Which was
You
a
got
very
blown
pivotal.
out at home by Virginia
We
Tech?
won the championship at the end of the year.
I
but this
forgot
was
that.
This
a
is all
part
we
of the
talked about
championship
all
story.
year.
This is what you guys surprised me with.
Congratulations
That was a good
on
sack,
your
though. I'll give you that.
individual
We showed a
performance.
sack. We showed a sack. That was a brilliant sack.
Well, thank you.
Were they spy on you there? Where were you? You weren't that fast to be the spy.
No, so it was definitely a blitz, but Joey Bosa and the guys up front like to take their own pass, so I had to kind of find my way.
Kind of read your way in.
He had some
Smart
help
linebacker.
up front that
And it
helped
turned out well.
linebacker group.
Exactly.
Yeah.
National champion. It all turned out well. So we have a new member of our crew here as well. John Fanta is joining us this year. We are so happy about that. And now for the fastest minute in college football, it is the debut of the Fanta in 60.
Crew, this is the fastest I've ever done anything. Let's roll the tape and start that clock. We begin with Baylor and SMU. Kicker Colin Rogers missed 2 field goals. This one a 38-yarder in double overtime. Dave Aranda, he needed this for the Bears. They come back from 4 different deficits of 10-plus points and win it in a thriller. Virginia and NC State. No, it's not a conference game. Does that make any sense? It doesn't. But Hollywood Smothers makes a lot of sense. He is shining. Wolfpack are 2-0. Let's go to the 72nd edition of Iowa and Iowa State in Ames. Rocco Becht to Gabe Burkle. You need a little bit of luck on your side. And for the Cyclones, it would lead to a 54-yard field goal, their first home win over Iowa since 2011. To College Station, Texas A&M will be our primetime game next Saturday at Notre Dame. And for A&M, Cassius Howell is a beast. We know Joshua Perry is going to love breaking him down next week. A&M, they roll. So does Florida State. Tommy Castellanos, early Heisman candidate, sure looks the part. The Seminoles, Deuce Robinson with maybe the catch of the day. And Florida State is 2-0, and they look the part of a real dark horse nationally.
You are fast.
He got it all in. We should cut highlights of that and show it at the end of the year so he can have a highlight package. That was amazing.
We're going to do that every week. John Fanta, we're so happy to have you here. Well done, my friend. We have one more to add to the Fanta in 60. I know, 60 wasn't enough for this whole thing. We got Troy, we got Clemson, and this is a shocker of a score update.
Man, pick 6, Cade Klubnik, down 16-0 right now. Maybe. Also, too, another coach that I would say was talking about other teams during the week.
But maybe he was right, though. Maybe that was a 58 and a 63 that we saw.
Well,
we don't know. We haven't seen OSU.
Don't grade other teams when you're the coach.
You
might have been telling the truth.
This was the ACC favorite. This is a playoff favorite.
I had them in my bracket.
This is 2 years in a row. Florida State last year, the shocker.
You play LSU, you think Troy's coming, we're going to get them. Then they had the rain delay down 7-0. That's hurt them.
The shocker of the day so far. We're back with our game coming up next. Two-touchdown lead for Rutgers in our game. Ethan Kelly-McManus, 2 touchdowns himself, 161 yards. Home side up by 14. So in that first half of play by the quarterback, Chris, what has stuck out to you most?
Well, Kelly-McManus throwing the ball well, but it's a one-man show with Ian Strong. And what I like, it's a lost art in football. It's a little bit like, hey, our guy's better than that guy. You're going to give us a 10-yard out? We'll throw the 10-yard out. Sure. It doesn't have to be complicated always. I'm appreciating that.
Maybe they're going to run a little more, though. Control the clock, eat the clock, finish off the game that way.
I will say one thing, Daquan Finn over there for Miami, that's a guy that you have to have your eyes on because he's so dynamic as a runner. So Rutgers has to have answers for that in the second half.
All right, pick 6 was huge.
Yes,
changed the game.
Absolutely.
I did.
Defense.
Jersey, Ramapo High School, Siena.
Absolutely. Pre-game, we saw a lot of rain out there. Eric LeGrand there as well. So a lot of things going on at Rutgers, and so really cool to see back at Rutgers, back on the field.
Yeah, Eric. Way to go, Eric LeGrand.
Eric is back. We are back with the second half right after this.
This has been the Xfinity Halftime Report.
This first half recap is brought to you by Geico.
Stand back, give me room. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my
thing. Get more with Geico. And let's take a look at the Big Ten Bulletin brought to you by Ford Blue Crews. Rutgers has been in front from the very start. Touchdown drive to get it going, and they lead 24-10 to start this third quarter. Some of the important stats to look at. Both of the quarterbacks, they were the headlines. They both played very well. Now, Daquan Finn has the interception, but he's also run for 84 yards to make up for it. Ethan Kelly-McManus has a lot of talent out wide, and Strong and Duff already have 12 catches between them. They had 12 total catches last week. Offensively for Miami, they had the worst output in the nation in their opening loss at Wisconsin. They have been much better today, a couple of scoring drives. And yes, they're down 14, but a massive improvement from what they showed in Madison. On the left, Chuck Martin, head coach for Miami, and Greg Schiano, 17th season in all, as the head coach of Rutgers. Rutgers getting the ball first here, Phil. It's on Chuck Martin's defense to provide some resistance to get the ball back to that O.
Yeah, I mean, he came into the game saying we're going to be careful again, but he noticed right away in the first drive by Rutgers, playing safe and doing that was not going to work. And I do think they've changed a little since then. Been a couple blitzes. They got to get more aggressive, because being down the way they are, 24-10, I don't think their defense, Miami defense, is going to shut out Rutgers here in the second half. So got to find a way to get a turnover or two. Easy to say, hard to do.
Yeah, find a way to make Ethan Kaliakmanis uncomfortable. He has been awfully comfortable in that first half. Ben Black back deep. He will let that one go. And Rutgers will begin from the 25. Let's check in with Zora.
Paul, 84 yards just on the ground from Miami's quarterback, DeQuan Finn. And I asked his head coach, Chuck Martin, about him, and he said Finn is competing. He's in the right place at the right time. He's scrambling. He said a stop and a score, and we are right back in this thing, especially after the field goal to end the first half. On the other side, I asked head coach Greg Schiano, okay, how do you contain Finn? And he said, if I knew we'd be doing it, the defense needs to be more precise and execute better. He is pleased with what he's seeing on offense. Look for Rutgers offense to run the ball just a little bit more.
Thank you, Zora, to keep the ball out of the hand of DeQuan Finn. He's accounted for 98% of their total yards so far. Kaliakmanis wants to go deep. And it's dropped there by his tight end, Kenny Fletcher. Had the time to go deep, but no one open.
Nope, maybe one right down the middle, but the coverage was good in case you want to take a shot. But really good throw, right on target. And I don't think he took his eyes off of it. Sometimes you just drop it.
Kaliakmanis right now 16 out of 22, couple of touchdowns and no picks. Efficiency-wise, picking up where he left off last week in the win against Ohio.
Well, we're going to play a little more aggressive on the defense.
Right up the middle, gashed him across the 30 to bring up 3rd down and 4. And Phil, being more aggressive for Miami defensively, is that a move you think they should make?
Oh, yes. I think they got it. That time they were daring them to throw the football deep. They were up in coverage. They had the extra guy inside to stop the run, even though they didn't do a great job with that. But, yeah, I think Chuck Martin's got to realize here that it's going to be hard to make this comeback, like I said. So he's got to come up with a formula, some different things, different plays, and different alignments to help his defense.
Rutgers just 1 out of 10 on 3rd down last week. Converted 3 out of 4 so far. Kaliakmanis, watch out. And he'll run for it. And that's going to be close. Looks like he got about a half a yard past it. Yes, he did. 1st down.
Boy, what a difference. I mean, good job by Kaliakmanis getting out of the pocket. The blitz or coming here, really close to getting sacked. And he wanted to throw the football to the sideline to the right. And Paul, that time, they were all over it by the defense.
That's something you didn't say much in the first half, Phil, all over the sideline passes. But he was making a living.
Well, yeah, you got to go in at halftime and you got to smash your head against the blackboard and go, we got to change some of this stuff.
They kept it. Kaliakmanis has been doing that pretty well today. Picks up 4. Ethan got up slowly after that last run where he picked up a 1st down. Let's take a look again.
Yeah, a little shot in the back, and
they run him again.
Well, you know, it's hard to disagree. The runs are working. And the fact that the run game keeps the offensive line aggressive.
He's been their most popular runner so far already with 10 carries. Well, that's a nice move by Benjamin to get it back past the line of scrimmage.
They were all over it, though. See, again, Paul, you say, what are they? If you just look right now, I've seen 2 defenses that is telling me they're willing to take more chances and to be more aggressive against this offense.
Okay, I know it's early in the 3rd quarter here, Phil, and it's a 14-point game, but this is a pretty big moment here. A 3rd down. Miami's offense was good at the end of that first half. And now with the chance to get off the field and get the ball back to Finn. You see Rutgers much better today on 3rd down. Third down and 4. Now the blitz. Manis knocked away. Wanted Colin Weber. But Coy Beasley stepped in and got just enough of it.
Very good. Beasley was on the receiver the whole way across in good position and waits the last second. Watches the receiver put his arms out and then rakes it so he can't catch it. Really good series by this Miami defense we just saw.
Boy, exactly what they needed. Well, big run up, punt away from Anderson. And a fair catch, difficult catch by Phillips Williams. Miami's defense does its job. They get the ball back to Daquan Finn. He is down 14. He'll have it for the first time of the second half right after this. As expected, so far, Miami's offense, Phil, has been all about Daquan Finn. Already over 200 yards of total offense.
Yeah, it's a one-man show. No doubt about it. Good job of reading the outside crasher on the defensive side. That gives him the opportunity to take off and run. And here, a little double move and throwing the football deep down the field. That time to Cam Perry. That was awesome. But you get fooled sometimes as quarterbacks. We know that, Paul, and he got fooled that time. And it was a big turning point of the football game in the first half.
Yeah, didn't get fooled a lot, but that one cost them. They were on their way to a touchdown, and Rutgers scored because of that pick. Miami's first play of the second half. Down the middle. Wide open man is Keith Reynolds. Down to the 15. Kaj Sanders saved a touchdown. That's a 69-yard gain.
In the middle, just right down the field, and Rutgers, the safety, look, it cheated over. And what a good read by Finn, just seeing the receiver run down the field, nobody on him. And Rutgers gets the tackle to stop the touchdown.
Boy, just like that, inside the 20. Kenny Tracy, good pickup on first down, gets him just inside the 10.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why was he so wide open. They had the coverage to take anything down the middle up or cover it, and I didn't see what number the safety was, but he moved to the left and created that big open lane down the middle.
Boy, they had high hopes for Keith Reynolds last year in Seattle playing for the Huskies. Only a handful of catches, but this is huge here to get this second half started.
Well, here's the big play down the field. Now they got an extra offensive lineman in there, which
they're holding up. They're going to let Rutgers get their substitution in. One D lineman in and one out. And now Miami just called timeout. Let's go back to the 69-yard gain for Keith Reynolds.
Here's the coverage. So here Reynolds right down the middle. Oh, they separate. I don't know what that coverage is, Paul. I really don't. One-on-one on the backside. Was he the safety trying to get over the top of the other receivers?
That safety acted like he was threatened to the sideline. And it was wide open down the middle.
Well, I'll go back to this. Chuck Martin did say this, and Greg Schiano told us, he goes, watching Rutgers play defense, they make mistakes in the passing game. Coverage. And that right there, that play was a big mistake.
And they got to worry about Finn running the ball. He averaged 14 yards per carry in the first half. On the move. End zone. Batted away. Cam Miller, the transfer from Penn State, got a hand on it. Oh, there was a flag down there.
Yeah, it was way out of bounds. Is that where he threw it?
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 10 for taunting. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first half.
That's Jacoby Henderson, the transfer.
Excellent job. Hand between the hand of the Miami's receiver knock it down. And I think it's Henderson, number 10.
Yeah, that was against him. He played at Marshall last year. 19 starts there, so that's someone who's played a lot of football. Our rules analyst, Reggie Smith, back in the studio, just said he does agree with the call. First and goal. Finn, can he get there? Yes, he did.
Wow, what a drive, what a play by Finn there. The throw down the middle, and that just outran the Rutgers defense and got the football in the end zone. What a play.
And what a beginning to the second half for Miami. They get the stop on defense, and they plausibly have a touchdown run from Finn.
Holding. Defense. That penalties decline. Result of the play. Touchdown.
Touchdown.
Good play action or a good fake inside. Yep, he made it.
Wow.
Well, we were kind of doubting, let's be honest, we were doubting Finn a little bit coming into this week. Like, I don't know. Didn't see much against Wisconsin. I know they're better and all that, but we're seeing it all today.
Well, he's the leading rusher in this game so far. And is 9 out of 13 passing.
Okay. And
as mentioned, our rules analyst today is Reggie Smith. We haven't heard from Reggie yet. Reggie, come on in here. What do you see on this call that was a touchdown ruled on the field?
The ruling on the field of a touchdown was made because the ball is in his left hand. However, you want to look to see where the foremost point of the ball is. When his right hand touches the pylon, he becomes out of bounds. It appears that the ball has broken the plane. In any case, I see this being upheld.
And the important thing to note here, Reggie, called a touchdown on the field, so they would really have to have some evidence against it.
That's exactly it, Paul. And based on the angles we've seen so far, I believe that this is going to have to be upheld.
Field of a touchdown is upheld.
Okay, Reggie, exactly as you laid out, the touchdown stands. And Miami begins this second half feeling exactly how they wanted to with a stop and then a touchdown.
They got it. They did everything they wanted to do. The stop, you said it. Defense came through, mixing it up, and the long pass and the run by Finn, pretty special.
Greg Schiano back to work. The extra point away from being up 7. Dom Jobin. Fifth season at Miami. And he makes it a 24-17 game. The Daquan Finn-led Miami offense puts up another touchdown, and Rutgers' lead is now 7.
John Fanta checking in with a game break to Lexington, a battle in the SEC. And for Austin Simmons and Ole Miss, they've retaken the lead. Kentucky driving early fourth quarter back to Jersey.
A good one there, Ole Miss and Kentucky. We've got a great one here. Big Ten against the MAC. You can see the weather threatening to come in a little bit. I know this. We've seen Daquan Finn be excellent here as the game has gotten longer.
Well, what it is, it's his show. Every play's about him. Keep the run, run it, fake it, run it, or throw the ball somewhere down the field. And what'd you tell me during the break?
It's like recess.
Recess.
Best kid, just the ball never leaves his hand.
That's right.
Let him have it the whole time.
Well, Chuck Martin heard you. He said, all right, I like that. Let's do it.
He'll get a much-needed rest. And we'll see what Ethan Kaliak-Manis and the Scarlet Knight offense can do. They found themselves in a tight one with a MAC team in the second half last week as well. They held off Ohio, but had to break a late tie to get that 3-point win. And we'll see where this one goes here this afternoon. Ben Black, little seam up the middle, spins out. And a nice return for Rutgers out to the 35.
Yeah, I think, you know, I look at this in this 24-17 now. You look at the Rutgers offense. Somebody's down.
Yeah, Miami player down there on the 20-yard line.
Well, what I was just. Yep.
We'll get a read on who that player is and be back right after this. The injured player we saw just before the break, Luke Myers, 6'1", 215 junior, and needed help getting off the field. Phil, and here's what happened on the kickoff. Where's number 46, top of your screen?
He's going to come into the picture here. There he is going down.
And Luke was the special teams player of the year last year for Miami. He's also the starting nickelback. So that would be a big loss if he can't come back in. His backup is Jackson Pons, a redshirt freshman. Saw limited time last year. Rutgers' second possession of this half. They're up 7. Kaliak-Manis, little pitch and catch, getting his tight end involved. Excellent finish by Kenny Fletcher to pick up a first.
Kenny Fletcher, they don't throw to the tight end much, but that time he just hooks it up in the middle. Kaliak-Manis throws it in there. I was going to say, Rutgers, you got to come out, you got to be aggressive, get back to what kind of the way you were early in the game. Put the pressure on this defense. Can you cover our wide receivers?
And prior to that one, Phil, all but one of Athan's completions had gone to one of his 3 wide receivers. That's 2 catches now for tight ends. 2 passes in a row into coverage and incomplete. Intended for Ian Strong. And Luke Evans was right there.
Well, the good thing is he put a lot of heat on it. So that stopped the football from being in the position where it could have been intercepted.
And one thing we haven't seen so far, Phil, and that's not a lot of success for the running backs here for Rutgers.
No, not it's almost like they gave up with the running backs. And the defensive backs for Miami, they have gotten more aggressive a little bit as time has gone in the second quarter and here.
Leading rusher for Rutgers has been the quarterback. Kaliak-Manis takes off once again, and that time only got back to the line of scrimmage. It sets up a 3rd and 10. Nasir Washington, defensive tackle, with the pressure.
Well, I like the fact that they've come out, they're trying to throw the ball. And Chuck Martin in this defense, the head coach of Miami of Ohio, the defense keeps changing up a little, Paul, right? It's man-to-man, different looks, different formations, and that makes it tougher on the quarterback.
Let's see how aggressive they may or may not be here on 3rd and 10.
Got the blitz look up there, that's for sure.
Brought 4, Kaliak-Manis, sideline. Sheffield right at the sticks and just enough for a first.
What a throw, what a route, and what a time to do it. To the outside. Here he comes down the field, breaks it out. Sheffield wide open and a good throw by Kaliak-Manis.
Hey, that's where
right
he's made most of his money here this afternoon, Phil, and that's to the sidelines here, about 10 to 12 yards down the field. Showing blitz once again. Now they bring it. Dumps it out of the backfield. Raymond, nice move.
Well, good read by the quarterback. 2 blitzers come running free. Get rid of the football. Nobody covering. The running back coming out of the backfield. That time it was Antoine Raymond.
A good read right there. Now they hand it to Raymond. Picks his way to another first down. Patience and footwork there gets him 12. And we've got an injured offensive lineman is down for Rutgers. Nice job there by Raymond. For the second time today, Dante Chin, the left tackle, is the injured Scarlet Knight. He went out earlier in the game and didn't stay out for too long.
Well, we hope he's okay. I mean,
and that's the left tackle with the least amount of starting experience of the Rutgers offensive lineman. His 7th start here today.
Oh, there it is. His own guy hit his right knee. Boy, it's just the number one thing you see to offensive linemen in college and in the pros.
Colin Weber, his tight end. So they tend to Dante Chin. And football-wise, this left tackle spot that was a big question coming into the season. Going to have to dip into the depth. We saw Tyler Needham come in the last time that Chin stayed down.
Well, he played last week some. I'm not sure. I think he played left and right tackle a little bit.
He is the swing tackle, yeah.
And Antoine Raymond, after that last run, just looks like the back you got to keep giving the football to.
Almost halfway through the third quarter. We'll take a break. The injured Scarlet Knight, the starting left tackle, Dante Chin, needed help getting off the field. And coming in his place, as we saw for a couple of plays earlier, number 56 is Tyler Needham. Now he's plugged in at left tackle now. Coming into this, he was the swing tackle that could go on either side. 9 starts last year at right tackle. Less experience on the left side, which is where he lines up now. First and 10 on the 21. Raymond, trouble in the backfield, goes down. Penetration right away. Phil, the safety blitz got there, loss of 1.
Yep, there it is. Just doing different things on the defensive side, trying to slow Rutgers down to get a chance and get them in a tough position and try to just make them kick a field goal here. But both coaches, Paul, don't you think so? They're making adjustments as the game goes along, and you go, wow, that's exactly what that we can see up here that you should be doing.
And it helps when Adam Trick, defensive end, is starting to show up in the backfield like he did last week in Madison. Second down 10. Kaliak-Mattis lays it off. Raymond tries to cut it back, but swarmed under. They wanted the catch and run, didn't have much run. He picks up 4.
No, the catch and run was going to come from the slot receiver to his right. Never really gave it a look. The play was high-low to the left side. Gets the completion, but look at the hustle by the defense. 4 defenders on the running back.
Okay, big play, big chance here for the Miami defense. Ja'Shawn Benjamin, the tailback, is in. 3rd down and 6. Kaliak-Mattis over the middle. Nice catch. Ian Strong. Touchdown, Rutgers. Kaliak-Mattis, Phil, maybe with a thank you to his big wide receiver for hauling that one in. That was behind him.
It was, with a little heat on it, too.
Yeah. Big catch for Ian Strong. He's now over 100 yards. He's 2 for 2 in that category this season. Also did it last week. Now has a couple of touchdowns. And Jay Patel pushes that Rutgers lead back to 2 touchdowns.
Yep. Tough coverage or good coverage on the outside. Here he comes, number 9, right across. Didn't rush it, runs flat, gets away from the safety. Oh, it was perfect. Well done. Wasn't like a slant pattern where you could run into trouble. But the big receiver and Kaliak-Mattis, did he put a little heat on that one?
A little bit.
Man, good catch behind you just a little bit. But breaking the tackles, and what a target to throw to.
Ian Strong really started to come on for Ethan Kaliak-Mattis last year, Phil. He averaged 5 catches a game the second half of the season. He had 7 in week 1. Check in today. He's already got 8 for 106.
Yeah, and his buddy, Dove, has 5 for 50 and a touchdown.
Nice combo.
Yep, and the quarterback, as Chuck Martin said, this offense of Rutgers, Chuck Martin being the head coach of Miami of Ohio, just said it's about the quarterback. And I would say Callie Agmanis has done a really good job of delivering the football, but the wide receivers have been big too.
Callie Agmanis over 70% for the second week in a row. 3 touchdowns and no picks. And Miami will begin at the 25-yard line. It's Big Ten Saturday night. Boston College and Michigan State. That's coming up tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern on NBC and Peacock. Here comes Saturday night, presented by Discover. Hey, Giles, Phil, have you had a chance to see him? He is a fun watch.
No, I have not, but
had some moments last year. He transferred in from Oregon State, was a starter a year ago. Up and down like a lot of first-year starters are. And
yeah,
a lot of their hopes ride on his development here in his second year as a starter.
Great helmets. Love the helmets.
Looking good, right?
And what an answer by Rutgers, though, Paul.
Yeah.
They needed, the crowd was kind of turning on them a little bit. I heard some boos, not many, but they execute well enough to get the touchdown.
See if they can solve the Quan Finn. He's going up top again into coverage. Lucky that one wasn't fixed.
Man-to-man coverage that time by Rutgers. They were all over everybody running down the field. They were, DeQuan Finn, he was looking for the shot down the field, a big play, and a little hold almost there. Pulled the jersey. But nobody open.
And Jet Elad was the closest one to that in his 7th year of college football. And a little beyond his reach, 2nd down 10. Miami's had no ground game outside of DeQuan Finn. Kenny Tracy trying to muscle for a couple extra. And he picks up 2, and it's 3rd down and 8.
You know, one of the things that I was thinking about Miami with this offense at halftime just going, well, you know, sometimes maybe have the get a tight end in there. Doesn't matter if it's a wide receiver. The running back, get some extra blockers so the quarterback can have time more consistently to try to get the football down the field.
Yeah, tight ends don't have a single catch yet here for Miami. They've converted 1 out of 3 on 3rd down. Finn. There's a catch and a run. Penalty marker comes raining in. Down at the 40-yard line goes Cam Perry. The flag came out well after the catch was made. Would be a 31-yard gain. And a flag now against the Miami sideline, too. Chuck Martin was about 10 yards out on the field.
Pass interference. Offense, number 4. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Head coach, Miami. Both penalties to be enforced. 3rd down.
Well, he's got to be careful. Would have been a huge pickup for a 1st down. They called Deion Colsey, the Notre Dame transfer.
Right.
And they got him on the sideline as well. Colsey wears number 4.
Number 4.
Wow. Reggie Smith, because Chuck Martin is so heated about this one, what'd you see there?
The second receiver in the trips formation ran directly at a defender and initiated contact. This appeared to me to be a very good call for OPI, offensive pass interference.
And now from his own end zone, Finn gets some of it back. First catch of the day for Weaver. Well, that was a huge sequence. What would have been a big pickup on 3rd down. Backed him all the way up to the goal line. They do get 8 yards there. But here comes the punt team, and Chuck Martin is not done with the officials.
Really, I know, easy for me to say the arguing's not going to help. They're not going to change the call, and you don't want to get a penalty.
Dante Chin, the left tackle for Rutgers. Being taken away. Punt is away. DT Sheffield will have a chance here. Makes it out to the 42-yard line. Let's take another look at this Offensive pass interference called against Miami that ruled out a huge third down pickup.
Slot receiver. Oh, we got it marked, so I don't have to do it. Does he run just straight into the defender? Oh, boy.
Reggie, did that look like he intentionally ran into him?
Yes, it did. Because the offense has the benefit and advantage of knowing which way the play is going, offensive receivers are restricted at the time of the snap throughout the duration of the play from blocking or initiating contact downfield before or while the pass is in the air. Once the pass is thrown and crosses the line of scrimmage, it then becomes a foul for offensive pass interference.
Man, that was...
Reggie, thank you for that.
You know the rules a lot better than I do, Reggie, that's for sure. But
Mattis wants Duff. Oh, knocked away at the last second by Caleb Martin.
Great timing by Martin. Waited to the last second, didn't panic with the receiver going down the field. Gets that hand in there to knock it away.
Good idea after all that emotion on the Miami sideline to take a shot like that.
Yeah, good, great idea. Duff couldn't come up with the catch. Good defense, stopped it.
So Mattis now 21 out of 30. It's 2 weeks in a row. His efficiency has been high. 3 touchdowns and no picks. Also has the most rushing attempts, unexpectedly, for Rutgers. Two straight passes. If he gets it off, that counts as a sack. By Joe, defensive end was in, loss of 2.
Yeah, a lot of these plays we've seen that don't work. It's just the fact that they thought they would because you go off of what you saw last week with this defense of Miami's, and they were letting guys run free in the flat, outside, all that, and they've had enough of it. Miami of Ohio, they're trying to hang in there, playing a lot more man-to-man.
Rutgers has found success in third down throwing underneath the cushion of corners near the sideline. Let's see if Ethan finds that again. Sets up, sideline. Boy, if that was caught, that's a heck of a catch. DT Sheffield, well done. Another sideline grab for a first. There's a penalty down.
It was a blitz by Miami of Ohio, and Paul, that was a really good throw.
Oh my gosh.
The coverage was great.
Interference. Defense, number 29. The ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
That's against Silas Walters, fifth-year senior safety. Boy, this was just so well placed.
Nice catch. Sheffield, and let's see the throw. Oh, great. Just what he wanted to do. Used his body quite a bit there to put a little extra heat on the throw. Right on target.
Sheffield a little banged up right there, but left hash to right sideline, Phil. Pretty nice.
Yep, and Sheffield, well, he's got some speed and quickness for sure. And when he's in that slot position, the whole field's available to him. So it's tough coverage. The coverage was tight, but a good throw and catch.
Tore it up at North Texas last year, his first year at Rutgers. Right up the middle, Campbell pounds it out for 6.
Here we go. Rutgers offense. Paul, I'm going to ask you a question. You can say yes or no.
Okay.
The defense is getting tired.
They've been out there a lot.
A lot of work. Emotion, all the emotions that are going along with this third quarter.
And Greg Schiano just might be determined to get this run game established. That hasn't really happened yet today. Campbell remains the tailback. And he gets it again. And he's got a first down.
As Bill Parcells would say, man, we're hawking it up in there now.
It's also taking advantage of the strength they have. Now Sheffield comes back in, their slot receiver. But their offensive line has nice experience, Phil, and it's at its best from guard center to guard.
Yeah, the inside, you're definitely right, Paul. That's the 3 that are kind of dominating offensive line play. And, you know, going into the Big Ten, they really got to get this offensive line, I think, a little more aggressive, whatever it is. I don't think they're playing to a top where some of these games against the Big Ten is going to be rough.
Now it's Raymond, and this time he's wrapped up and thrown down right at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, each one of those offensive line from guard center to guard, Phil, have at least 20 starts here at Rutgers. Silas Walters, nice tackle for Miami.
Well, when you follow college football, look at the number of starts by the offensive line. But when you follow college football, you hear it every week, every weekend. Oh, a lot of starts, You get a lot of starts, that means you're a really good player most times.
Right.
They don't keep you in there if you're average. They find somebody to replace you.
And Tyler Needham, the backup tackle, 9 starts at right tackle last year, is in at left right now for the injured Dante Chin. So even their backup has a good amount of reps. Galiak Manis. Contacts, 2 flags. 3 flags. Coy Beasley guarding KJ Duff.
Pass interference. Defense, number 6. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Pulled the jersey, pulled the receiver down, easy call.
It goes against Adrian Walker, the freshman. Not much complaining from the Miami sidelines.
Nope.
They have had more penalties go their way. That's 8 calls against them. Rutgers has 2. Galiak Manis, well protected inside the 10. A little bit too much out in front of DT Sheffield.
No, it took quite a while there for Sheffield to get down there, open in the right corner. Offensive line did an excellent job. And there's just no room really for Galiak Manis to get this in there. Well, he's made a lot of throws, right, Paul, with all the defense all surrounding him. And he's not panicking, still looking down the field, making throws.
It's similar to last week. A lot of his success 10 to 15 to 20 yards downfield to either sideline.
And they were under pressure quite a few times last week when he made those throws.
21 out of 31 right now. Raymond redirected. And nice power there inside the 25-yard line. Could have been thrown for a loss, but he got 7.
Really good run. Offensive line stayed on their blocks there. All the left side did a good job. And Raymond, how's that cut?
Is that patience or more vision? I know you were a quarterback who didn't run much, but could have gone either way. Short completion there to one of the tight ends, Kenny Fletcher.
I marvel at these. Most of the running backs in college football, and especially in the pros, they can run sideways faster than I could forward. It's just that's what you need. You got to be able to look in one hole and just slide to the next. And Raymond has.
We got a 4th down here coming up. And Greg Schiano went for it 5 times on 4th down in week 1 and converted all 5 times.
Well, you're 2 scores up. Do you want to make it 3 scores for them they need to beat us or win the game? Or do you go for it?
I'm going to answer that right now. 2 seconds left. Boy, Miami all over it. They were ready and they stuffed it. Devin Bell for a loss of 3. And that's how the 3rd quarter comes to an end.
What a play.
For the most part, 3rd quarter was a win for Rutgers, but not at the end. Miami's defense steps up and gives the ball back to the offense to start the 4th quarter.
Unblocked.
Miami made a play on 4th down. They turned it back over to their offense. And that's how we'll begin the 4th quarter.
So what do you think? He thought maybe they had the first down, and it was really 4th down, and it was too late. And he's trying. So I don't know. I don't want to sit here and keep throwing theories out there.
Miami comes in 0-1. They lost at Wisconsin to start the season. Rutgers won right here against Ohio by 3 points. Look at Chuck Martin.
Oh, he's...
Boy.
But you know, Paul, 31-17, they get the first down. Whatever they do, they keep the drive going. But if you kick the field goal, it's a 3-score game. So
now
that was a big thing.
They are showing 4th down now. They're showing 4th down of the field still, not first down. Are they going to replay 4th down?
Oh, wow.
So on the sidelines, we're looking at the markers. It says 4.
Yep.
Inside of a yard. And while we were away, Greg Schiano had a long conversation with those 2 officials right there about something that happened at the end of that sequence.
Well, I would say it's going to go against Miami of Ohio because Chuck Martin is storming the field again.
And as you can see, they are reviewing something here. Whatever that conversation was in the sideline, it looks to have gone Greg Schiano's way because it still says 4th down and 1, and Chuck Martin looks like that. We saw him signaling, looking like he might signal timeout to the officials.
Yes.
And maybe they're coming back to say they should have given him that timeout. And you know Chuck Martin is asking, what are you looking at?
I saw Greg Schiano making the sign maybe to make a timeout, but it wasn't super clean cut. I don't know if he said, did he say timeout with it? Something.
So here's the 3rd down play. Kaliak Manis, Fletcher, complete, clearly short of the first down. That knee was down. About a yard short. And it was after that play that Schiano, it looked like he was close to calling a timeout. They did not give him that timeout during live action. They ran it up the middle on 4th and came nowhere close.
Ooh.
So they're taking a look to see if the game clock ran out before the play clock. Okay, so right now it's 6. The play clock just a tad ahead.
Yep.
Play clock was just a little bit ahead. Okay, so they've removed the 4th down from the sticks. And it looks like right in front of us, we've got the Miami offense acting like they're ready to go on the field.
Yeah, the first down marker is going down the field too.
The review. After review, the ball was snapped at the 1 second mark in the 3rd quarter. Therefore, the down will count, and it's a turnover and downs. First down, Miami.
Okay, so they were taking a look at the clock. That was referee Billy Williams, and as we just saw, the play was snapped before it went to zeros. Let's bring Reggie Smith in. Reggie, how do you begin to sort through this one?
It almost looks like Coach Schiano was trying to call a timeout in order to run another play. While talking to the head line judge on that side of the field, they snapped the ball and he wanted a timeout. So it is reviewable to see if time had expired prior to the snap. But as we saw here on film, the quarterback had the ball in his hands with 1 second remaining, so the down should count. I just don't understand the stoppage in the first place after we ran another play.
Correct. Okay, Reggie, thank you. Let's see if each one of the head coaches can take a deep breath to start the fourth quarter here, Phil.
Yeah, I'll take one, too.
Counts for the booth, too. Daquan Finn starts the fourth quarter down 14. He has been Mr. Everything for this offense so far. To pass, shoots one. Brings up second down 10. They wanted Keith Reynolds. They've hooked up pretty well here today.
Well, you got what you wanted. If you're the Miami offense, you got your receiver one-on-one going down the field and nobody else around him. Throw was a little off target that time by Daquan Finn.
If you Chuck Martin, you probably want to see Finn run the ball as well. He has 7 carries for 89 yards. Easily their most productive runner so far. And he's 10 out of 16 throwing. Back-to-back passes. Sideline. Accurate toss. Couldn't be brought in by Deion Colsey, and it's third down. Henderson had the tight coverage.
Very good coverage all over it. Even though it was a really good throw by Finn, no room to get it into the receiver.
We've seen them pick up big third downs here with Finn's legs here. And they've had a lot of third and longs. He's moved the chains often on first and second down. See if he can do it on third. Timeout. Now the penalty marker was thrown just as he called a timeout.
Timeout. Miami. They're first. Be 30 seconds left.
Okay, so he did call the timeout before the play clock went to zeros. Pretty good matchup coming up in the NFL tomorrow night. If you like quarterbacks, you might want to tune in. A couple of the top playmakers at the quarterback spot. Josh Allen. And the Bills play host to two-time MVP Lamar Jackson and the Ravens Sunday 7 o'clock Eastern on NBC and Peacock. Hey, check out John Harbaugh, the head coach of the Ravens. When he was a player at Miami of Ohio, looks angry. Nice mesh jersey, mid-80s.
He looks angry, huh?
He did there.
Boy, he's carried it a long time.
Head coach now has been angry a fair bit of the third quarter. Chuck Martin. Team down 14 now, facing third down and 10.
Yep. Is Rutgers going to blitz this play with one-on-one coverage?
Finn stumbling as he throws. Wow! Connection to Keith Reynolds for the first.
What a catch. What a throw. And they were going to make sure that Finn was not going to run the football. Looked like they had 2 defenders standing in front waiting on him if he did pull the ball down and run.
Oh, nice job of stepping up here, Phil.
Oh, yes. Yep, there's a guy in the middle looking at him. Oh, yes. Oh, perfect. What a good throw. Cam Miller never turned, just like a back shoulder almost. Cam Miller for Rutgers.
And Cam
never
Miller
turned to look for the ball.
Cam Ware, number 7, the defender closest, is the injured Rutgers player. We're back. Next Sunday is the Manchester Derby, streaming live on Peacock. Whether you're red or blue, it's a rivalry today that's as relevant as it is historically rich. Man City, Manchester United, next Sunday, 11:30 Eastern on Peacock. Hey, students have hung in there very well. This game was supposed to start at 3:30. We had the 1-hour weather delay. They've stuck around. Had some nice energy here inside the stadium. And they've seen the Scarlet Knights lead the entire way. Right now, they're up 14. Daquan Finn. Sideline connects. Deion Colsey, they've been trying to get him the ball all day. This time they get him for 8. Started his career at Notre Dame. Played quite a bit of football out wide for the Fighting Irish. 21 catches, 3 touchdowns.
Playing his final season here for the RedHawks. 2nd down, 1 coming up. Kenny Tracy, the tailback, but the chosen runner for Miami so far has been the quarterback. Tracy drilled before he got to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and a long 1. Nice play by Darrell Dengohead.
Comes right down the line of scrimmage. Good hit. Short gain.
Actually 3rd down and 2 coming up. Rutgers showing blitz. Finn just got that off. Kept it. Can't get out of trouble. Rutgers swarmed him in the backfield. Big loss. 4 yards. Jed Elam, the safety, first there.
Yeah, listen, it's everybody at Rutgers, they're showing you they're going to blitz. They're all at the line of scrimmage to run the football. It's just not going to work. They're outnumbered. And they're going to go for it here. Nope, I thought they were going to go for it on 4th down, but too early to do that.
Boy, they had 2nd and short and then 3rd and short. Couldn't move the chains. Big sequence for the Rutgers defense. They're already up 14.
They condensed the offense, just made it tougher and easier. Tougher on them, easier on Rutgers.
I thought they might go for it there on 4th down, Phil. And the ball will roll dead.
No, you know, Paul, over 12 minutes ago, it's still 2 scores. And just not a good situation. If it's like 4th and 1, maybe you do it. But where it was, I think they made the right decision. Punt it, see if we can get a stop quick and get the football back.
All right, counting on their defense. And let's see, we've talked about it here as the 2nd half has gone on. Greg Schiano has leaned heavily on the rush offense. They ran the ball more than any team in the Big Ten last year. They've had a little bit of success here in the 3rd quarter. And this is the time of game you would expect a Rutgers team to really lean into that ground game.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, they want to run the football for many reasons. One, shows the power of the team, but also they want to run it to try to protect their defense on the other side. Shorten the game, especially now that you're up by 14 points. You'd like one of those drives that's, you know, one of those Iowa drives. you know, Paul, you're managing it, going, hand the ball off, kill the clock, snap it with 1 second.
Yeah.
I was there. I did it a lot myself.
You did do a lot of hand it off back in the day.
Yeah, I did a lot of that, milking the clock. I was good at that. That was my strength.
You guys were up a lot, too.
Jay-Sean Benjamin, the tailback. He is the 3rd back. Good, strong run there to get this drive started of 4. The coaches we talked to yesterday, they were determined to get him more touches than the 3 he got in the opening game.
Hard to make everybody happy at the running back position. You know, they're coming off of Kyle Monungai, who, when in doubt, no matter what the situation was, give it to him. They're still trying to figure out how to get this this running back rotation to the way they want it.
He's been patient first 2 years, just 19 carries last year. Kelly Agmanis, well, they'd like that play to the tight end. This is the best one yet. Colin Weber, with his first catch, picks up 7 yards. We're thinking about the running back group, the 1-2-3 combo, and that's how we send it down to Zora.
Yeah, Paul, their nickname is Earth, Wind, and Fire. Antoine Raymond came up with the name. He's Earth because he's gritty and gets downhill. Jay-Sean Benjamin is Wind. At first you see him, then you don't. And C.J. Campbell, well, he takes the name of Fire, moving at 100 miles an hour. And hey, the guys are hoping September hits big, just like it did for the band.
Very well done. September came out as #1 in what year, Phil? You're connected to this.
Not even a clue.
Come on. Good run right up the middle. That's a jump cut by Jay-Sean Benjamin. Picked up 1 or 2. Okay, Earth, Wind, and Fire, September. Morehead State, you're a senior. What were you listening to?
Well, probably them, but I sure don't remember what song it was.
September was #1 in the fall of '78.
Well, sing it for me so I can remember. Just give me a hint.
This is where I need the people back home to, like, play it in, pipe it in.
If I sang it, I don't think you'd recognize it.
Yeah, I would.
Doubtful. All right, Rutgers using the time now. C.J. Campbell is now the back. Jay-Sean Benjamin comes out. Galiak-Manis over the middle. It's pretty. Well, that has been his guy, Ian Strong, having a day. 9 catches for over 100 yards. That one for 12.
Yeah, you said it right. That was pretty. Watch Strong on the outside. He makes the cut. The ball is on the way once again. And I know we kind of beat this to death, but it's good to be tall. Look at that catch. That football. Throw it to the wrong receiver. It's batted up in the air, but makes it look easy.
We're not even 2 games in. He's going to jog off. He's got 16 catches this season. And as you just saw, 9 today. 1st and 10 on the 45. Campbell is the back. He's got nowhere to go. Loss of 4 yards there. And Miami's defense, most of the time here today against the run, like they did last week against Wisconsin, have held their own.
They have 50, 63.
Rutgers.
80 yards they've given up, and just a quick, I was a major in math, so I figured it out.
Were you?
Yeah.
Huh.
Of course not.
But could have been, for all I know.
No, that was the one thing I was good at, was math, so I figured it out real quick. What did I say? 80 yards rushing by Rutgers.
You got this group inside 100 yards at this point of the game. It's pretty good work. 2nd down. Galiak-Manis takes a shot. Strong. Boy. Yeah. 2 flags, 3 flags come in. Adrian Walker. Awfully handsy. Yeah, not a difficult call right there.
Defense, number 6. 15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic. 1st down.
Ian Strong, I mean, he's not happy with it that he got a penalty. He wanted that free arm to catch the ball. He's going to catch that if it's not for the penalty.
Walker upset on the sideline. 9th penalty for 88 yards against Miami of Ohio.
Miami of Ohio might play their whole MAC schedule this year and not be blitzing or whatever for that whole year to match what they've done here today. They're doing things that they don't usually do. Tight man-to-man is not their calling card.
Antoine Raymond up to the 35-yard line. Good pickup on 1st down.
You agree with that, Paul? Just kind of, we know, and Chuck Martin talked to us, the head coach of Miami, told us about how they play, what they do, and
I felt that was an interesting part of the conversation when Chuck was sharing with us. Like, we run into this every September. We play against Big Ten schools. We play against bigger schools. Of course, I want to win, but I want to get my team ready for how they're going to play in the MAC, because that's what we're here to do, is to win the conference.
Right.
And they don't want to get too far out of character when they're trying to win as they're swinging above their weight. Raymond, nice dash inside. 1st down, Rutgers.
Well, I think, just to go back to that real quick, Paul, I think they've done things here today that they wouldn't usually do, even against these Big Ten teams, but he kind of saw it like, we got a chance. It's close. All we got to do is make a couple plays, and I think that kept them going on the aggressive side to give them a chance to win. But like you said, a great thought out of their character doing this.
Yeah, they had some moments, plenty of them. 1-score game. They were hanging right in there. Greg Schiano's group now in control. A little over 7 minutes left in the game and up by 2 touchdowns. Jay-Sean Benjamin is the tailback that's come back in. He's been in the backfield. Just got back to the line of scrimmage. Eli Blakey, one of the leaders there at safety. 5th-year senior makes the play. Well, they have been sending those safeties into the backfield a fair amount. Blakey and Walters. And this Rutgers offense that was really pass first for most of the game. Rain beginning to come down again. Now getting back into the run with this kind of lead. at this point in the game. 9th play of this drive. Now he wants to throw. Kaliak-Manis takes a shot, and another connection. KJ Duff sets him up 1st and goal.
Listen, how easy did that look? That
easy.
Was on the mark. Make the receiver turn. As I talked about earlier, let's see if he turns completely around. Turn, yep, make the catch. Not much the defensive back can do. Great throw by Kaliak-Manis. And these receivers are growing up.
6'6", going up against 6'1". Pretty good matchup for the Scarlet Knights. Kaliak-Manis just milking the clock now. Back to the air, well protected. What a catch!
Wow, what a throw, what a catch.
TT Sheffield fingertip grab for 6.
I think the one thing we've answered here today, we like the wide receivers.
You like them coming in, too.
Yeah, I like them coming in, but this has really been impressive. And this throw was impressive, too. Right on the money.
Oh,
perfect.
Cut the back half of it. We've seen this a number of times here in the second half. The one hash to the other sideline and putting it right where he wants it to be.
I'll tell you what makes it easy for these guys to catch that football is the rotation that Kaliak-Manis puts on it.
Patel's extra point right down the middle. Now the largest lead for Rutgers inside of 6 minutes left in the game. DT Sheffield. Nice fingertip catch. 8th and Kaliak-Manis. A career best 4 touchdown passes here today.
Rutgers continues to expand its lead. Let's go to earlier today, though. The 15th annual A Walk to Believe, led by Eric LeGrand. LeGrand suffered a spinal cord injury in 2010 while playing for the Scarlet Knights. And now he uses his very large platform to support others living with the same challenges. 1,000 people walked in the parade down the Rutgers boardwalk this afternoon, and they're still tallying all the funds from the event, but last year's walk raised over $100,000.
Zora, great work. Great to see Eric. He's a big part of this program. He's been a part of the home radio broadcast here for Rutgers for over a decade.
Yeah, good for him. Had a chance to talk to him a little bit today. Happy as can be.
Pretty good at it, too. Won Sportscaster of the Year just a couple of seasons ago. So you've got options right now. If you'd like to see Boston College, Michigan State, that's happening right now on NBC and also Peacock. ACC against the Big Ten. And right now, Greg Schiano and Rutgers trying to put the finishing touches on this one, enjoying their largest lead of the game, 38-17, and enjoying the performance from their 5th-year senior quarterback, 8th and Kaliak-Manis. 261 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, and no picks. And resting on the sideline. And Daquan Finn has been awfully good himself, but this offense is slowed down here. Penalty marker. You see the play clock going down to 0.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Look, Paul, go back to that drive by Rutgers. You know, the game, two touchdown lead. They go 10 plays, 78 yards, 6 minutes, 29 seconds, and they get the touchdown.
Got a lot of run, a little bit of pass there at the end. Finn completed the 25 and a good tackle to keep him right there. Pick up a 5. Keith Reynolds brought down by Jet Elad. Elad playing in his 51st game. Played the last 2 years at UNLV. Finn. Almost picked, but this will be a big gain. Out of bounds just before he got to the midfield stripe. That's Keith Reynolds. Picks up 23. He was the primary return man for Washington last year, so he's got some make you miss. Elad almost got that one, but led to a big play. And Finn gets right back to work. 5 minutes left in this game. Colsey, he's out of bounds.
Anytime you see the official toss the hat onto the field, you know the receiver was out of bounds. And that's
Going
what...
to the field, it's an incomplete pass. Second down.
Wow, late hit there. Got lucky to get away with that.
Four-man rush on 2nd and 10. Fent escapes one, but not all of them. Sacks at the 43. Loss of 5.
Of course, it's an obvious passing situation. Four-man rush.
Need a bunch here, 3rd down and 15. Four-man rush again. See if he can run for it. And he slides at the 47. Oh, they actually said the slide started at the 49. Going to make 4th down a little bit more manageable. Clock continues to tick, now inside of 4 minutes for Chuck Martin. His team about to fall 0-2. Lost by 17 at Wisconsin to start the year. Needs 9, not going to happen. DJ Jabome, leading tackler back on this team, puts an end to that drive. A lot of good moments for Daquan Finn, but not many here in this 4th quarter. Rutgers will have the ball to go along with a 21-point lead when we come back. And the voice is back with Snoop, Bublé, Nile, and Reba. So get ready for some big voice energy. Brand new season of The Voice begins September 22nd on NBC and Peacock. Fans have stuck it out here. The rain coming down a little bit. This one was delayed an hour because of lightning. And Daquan Finn has had some big-time moments for the RedHawks, but not enough. 21-point lead for Rutgers. Let's see if they made a change at quarterback here. Well, they came back to 8th and Kaliak Manis. Been the man from the get-go. C.J. Campbell up the middle. And that last scoring drive, Phil, checked a lot of boxes.
Yep, 10 plays, 78 yards, worked the clock the whole way. Nice drive starter, easy throw. 6:29 it takes to get the drive over with the touchdown. Nice throw there, back shoulder. Who else? Duff. This is really, Paul, that is a really good throw. I'd say all in all, Kaliak Manis has not really thrown a ball where you go, wow, bad decision, bad throw, right, in the game. Very crisp throwing.
Ground game just going to take over from here. Inside the 40-yard line goes Campbell.
And I do kind of believe this. You know, we talk to all their coordinators and everything, and they don't do a lot, Rutgers.
That's what they said, yeah.
They don't. But they spread the, you know, they got 3 good receivers. The running backs are hoping the line comes around. But they keep it simple, and they execute. The quarterback is on the mark. 2 straight games, right? Of just, if they're open, he doesn't miss it.
I think on the mark is the most important thing, Phil, because this is the quarterback who, first 2 years of starting, he was in the 50s for completion percentage.
Right.
And it's only 2 games. And it's against MAC opponents, but he's up near 80% for his 2-game total. Raymond looking for a hole, finds a little bit. Nice job of keeping his feet, and there he goes. Antoine Raymond down to the 5. 34-yard run. And that's how the 2-minute timeout arrives. Sees a lane he likes. Off he goes. Rutgers will have 1st and goal and a 21-point lead when we come back. Chuck Martin's side, they've had some pretty good moments here, but they're down 38-17 right now, about to drop to 0-2. They were only down by 3 here, Phil. They were driving to score, and then this happened.
Yep. Doesn't see the outside defender. They changed the coverage a little bit.
And then second half, down 14. It looked like they picked up a big-time third down, but they called for offensive pass interference. And that was a huge sequence, but took away the big play and backed them up inside the 5.
Well, Chuck has now settled down a little bit.
Raymond sprinting for the goal line, and he gets back. Rutgers piling it on here in this fourth quarter.
Well, I think I heard up here, somebody says the Rutgers will probably kneel on the ball, but that didn't happen. And Antoine Raymond, just one more play to show you.
They saw Chuck Martin's face. I think maybe he thought the same thing was going to happen.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not happy with that. But just talking about Chuck Martin real quick, the Rutgers touchdown, that was nice. But, you know, I think, Paul, as I watched him, he kind of walked onto the field during a timeout and talked to the referees. I think he was like going, hey, you know, come on, it's all good. It's just the way it is.
45-17. So Miami is about to fall to 0-2, and Phil, they have been in spots like this before. In fact, they've started 1-3 because these major conference teams they play right out of the gate, they've started 1-3 9 times in his tenure here at Miami. But yet they find their way to going 6-2, 7-1 in the MAC. He did tell us, he's like, people just expect it to happen because that's what we normally do as the season gets longer. He said, this is a little different. Like, we haven't had this kind of roster turnover, replacing all 11 starters on offense, 40 new players on the roster. So they do have those expectations, but this journey to getting to good in the MAC will feel different this year.
Yeah, I think it will. And, you know, I'll just say this. So I appreciated how he talked to us about these games and what you were talking about and how he thinks of them so differently. And he understands it. I got to gamble to beat a Big Ten team. I'm going to play very conservative against the MAC teams because we match up well with them physically and everywhere else. So I found that very interesting.
He said when we play these Big Ten teams like Rutgers tonight and Wisconsin last week, I look at it and I see a team that's built like we're built. They're big, they're physical, they're not fancy, they're more blue collar than they are extravagant. He said, but they have Big Ten athletes.
Yes. Well, we've seen that tonight for Rutgers. The quarterback is not too often you see in Paul, not too often you see an offense like this where Rutgers is running. And what I mean by that, it's not fancy. They're not trying to have the quarterback run too much, but it's about precise passing. And their passing game almost looks like a pro team. They don't try to trick you, do too much. They just beat you with their talent.
Henry Heston checks into the game. The backup quarterback for Miami has once started his career. Limited action last year. And he'll run these final handful of plays here for Miami. That's Deshaunte Jones. He had a touchdown earlier in this game. Running up the middle. So Daquan Finn's night is officially over. 11 carries for 86 yards. Made a lot of big plays, and now Heston comes in.
Man, throwing the ball, Finn. 252 yards throwing it. It's a big night. You know, not to be funny, but, you know, I ran for 200 yards once. Took me the whole year, but I got it done.
You talking about at Morehead State or with the Giants?
No, with the Giants, you know.
Young, early in your career, right?
Yeah, you know, I think, look, when you play 16 games, you can get phrase some of these stats any way you want them.
Just think how many yards you could have run for if you played 17, Phil.
Yeah, yeah.
Rutgers never trailed in this one. They scored on their first possession just like they did last week against Ohio. Was close for a little bit of time there in that second quarter. And Miami threatened. Big turnover produced by the Rutgers defense. Set up a big touchdown, and Greg Schiano's group will move to 2-0. Coming off back-to-back winning seasons. Chuck Martin coming off back-to-back seasons that saw him win 20 total games. And they'll go back to the drawing board looking for that first victory of the season. And that'll be it. Rutgers in control from the start, leaning on their fifth-year senior quarterback, Ethan Kaliakmanis. A career-high 4 touchdown passes. And Greg Schiano and his Scarlet Knights up to 2-0 on the season.
Well, you know, since we did this game today and got to know Chuck Martin and everything, I'm going to follow Miami pretty close this year, just to see how it works out with everything he said and what you were just talking about.
Yeah, it's hard to spend too much time with Chuck Martin and not like him.
Oh, yeah, it was. I'm being serious. When we interviewed him, it was almost like talking to a stand-up comic.
Greg Schiano seeking out the quarterback, Daquan Fenn, and shaking his hand for a job well done.
Yeah. And this Rutgers passing attack. Big fans of Rutgers out there, whatever. The running backs, they kind of came, you see what can happen there. But you got to be excited about the quarterback. And the throwing and the receivers. I know it was Miami, Ohio, but I believe they're going to do this against a lot of Big Ten teams, too.
Yeah, a lot of those throws right on the money. DT Sheffield, he had a good outing. Part of that receiving core. Greg Schiano right now with Zora.
Coach, do your job was one of the messages coming into this one. How'd the guys respond?
I think in the second half, defense we did, but with the exception of one play. But you know, that's on us. That's on me. That's yeah, we're getting there. It's just it's a work in progress.
Hey, the offense looks great though. 4 touchdown passes by your quarterback. What do you think of the connection brewing between Ethan and his receivers?
Yeah, they do. They have a chemistry, and they're playing well.
And a weather delay, hour delay. How do you think the guys performed, even given that? I know you all prepared for it.
Yeah, I mean, we prepared, and they knew we prepared, and they just, as we say, they chopped the moment.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Greg, Zora, thank you. 2-0 starts in a little celebration with the alma mater.
Greg was awful calm there, wasn't he?
Yeah. Oftentimes, coaches are feeling the work that they and the improvement that they still want to see, even though they did win by 28. We talked about Kaliakmanis being awfully good, but man, the top 2 receivers, Ian Strong, KJ Duff, combined for 15 total catches.
Gosh.
And close to a couple of 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. And that is a heck of a 1-2 combo of a 6'3" and a 6'6" wide receiver.
Not only that, just I saw Sheffield run a route from the slot. Wow, was he quick.
Ian Strong had 7 catches for 100 last week and comes back to go over 100 yards again.
I was down here at Rutgers watching those 2 in a game. And you know what? Yep. They look just like they do here. I was like, wow, these are big-time receivers.
Ian Strong with Zora right now.
We got both Ian Strong and then KJ Duff is going to join us as well. Ian, we'll start with you. 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. What's working so well for you?
I think it's just trusting my training. Everything happens in practice.
You're best in the nation.
There's nothing you can ask for when you got the quarterback right here.
You mentioned your quarterback, KJ. This one is for you. He said that this receiver group is the hardest working group he's ever been around. How is that work now translating to the field?
Oh, yeah, you see it. It's transitioning pretty well. And, you know, we go out there and practice. We practice very hard, so it translates right over into the game.
I want to let you know, so for context here, these guys won a high school championship together, rode to school daily. I talked to Ian, and he said you were always falling asleep on the ride to school. Is that still the case in college now?
You know, if I ever catch a ride, you know, it's always good to fall asleep in the passenger seat, yeah. Get a little nap.
Congrats, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Gosh. That good intel there. High school teammates on Long Island at St. Anthony's. 15 catches tonight between them for 3 touchdowns. Thanks for being with us. Big Ten Saturday on Peacock, presented by Liberty Mutual. Right now, you can switch over to Boston College taking on Michigan State on Big Ten Saturday night on NBC and also on Peacock. For Zora Stevenson and Phil Simms and our entire crew, I'm Paul Burmeister. Thanks for being with us tonight. A 28-point victory for Rutgers.